First and foremost, I just want to point this out. This is not AI. This is Brian Moreland, EDP445, willfully participating in the imagery necessary to paint the picture for the documentary. He willfully put on this jumpsuit. Under no circumstance does it feel as if this man is being held by way of gunpoint, as if he's being threatened, you know, participating in the midst of the film. He sounded as if he was doing this under his own volition, and you heard him in the midst of the documentary say, hey, he does it because he wants to, because he doesn't give a fuck, right? So you're putting on the jumpsuit. You're openly mocking the fact that you got away with your actions, your heinous actions. Right? Let's just make sure that we have that situated. Yes, I will agree as well. He is indeed a dickhead, or in my case, because I like to utilize, I only like to utilize, you know, negative connotations on, you know, male genitalia. He's indeed a clitoris as well, right? But I just want to make sure that that's understood as we're going through the documentary again. He willfully not only put on a jumpsuit at the tail end of the documentary, he dug his own grave and laid in it. Furthermore, returned back to the scene in which he got caught, attempting to go and meet with the 13-year-old as well. This is a deranged individual. Let's continue.
Everybody, it's the pussy 445, nigga. The fuck out of here, dude. I just overflooded the phone.
Breaking news. YouTuber EDP445 caught trying to meet a child for sex.
Coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back
I am
home.
with the Predatorial Investigation Unit, but I just want to let you know.
See this shit right here, dog? See, this is the shit you have to watch out for, man. You got motherfuckers, shit, little young-ass high school motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Little fucking fags and shit. I mean, let's be fucking real. Like, you know, like people, you know, guys, you know, they think about, you know, fucking the shit out of a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. Oh man, that bitch walking down the street, she's in high school, she's hot as fuck, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, my shit gets put out there. You feel?
First off, timeout. When you talking about, yeah, you say it's so normal. 1 in 6 is crazy, right? 1 in 6 is an incredibly high number. Now, albeit, I'm not going to sit over here and attempt to defend. Obviously, there's difference in the metrics depending on different sort of states, what's considered, you know, legal. If you have I'm attracted to a 17-year-old here, that one would be, you know, considered, you know, against the law. But in this particular state, it would be perfectly fine. There's different sort of metrics that's taken into account there. However, that being stated, this brother driving past a high school saying, yeah, you know, we all had thoughts of, what you talking about? What you talking about? We? Who we? You speaking French? We? What's we? Me? No. Talk about we. What part of the game is this? Yeah, man, I'm the only one who got his stuff put out there. How'd it get put out there? I'm just curious. How'd it get put out there? Was it a situation in which you went behind the mic and said, hey, I'm attracted to high school, you know, girls? That wasn't the case. You got intercepted. And furthermore, let's just take something into account. 13 is not that normal age to find yourself in high school, unless, of course, you got a late birthday, correct? Unless you're an advanced student or you got a late birthday. Primarily, you start freshman year at 14. Some, you know, different sort of states, maybe you might start at 13 or whatever the case is, but one way or another, you got caught going to link up with a 13-year-old. You don't get to continually frame this as if you're, well, you know, 15, 16. No. You have to start the number at 13 because this is documented on video. And furthermore, it's going to be documented on video in the very documentary out of your own mouth. So immediately you start things out with double speak. Let's continue.
But let's not get the game fucked up. Just because I think a certain way doesn't mean other people don't think the same way that I think. You know, motherfuckers just don't know who you are, and your fucking ass just ain't getting exposed on the internet. You know what I mean?
Every day, there's a new person that gets exposed for some type of sexual contact with a minor. Whenever it happens, we're all like, oh, what was he thinking? Why would he do that? But you never hear why. They never say why. they don't say anything, or they disappear, or they act like it didn't happen. And so as uncomfortable and
Y'all let me
fucked
know
up
if the
as this
volume is still
documentary
good.
is,
Y'all let me know if the volume is still good. If I need to turn
it
it up.
actually answers that question.
Like, he went to that place to have sex with a 13-year-old.
Definitely viewer discretion is advised. Dude's a perverted dude.
He sent me videos of him masturbating.
So what advice would I give to EDP445? And I'm sure you're going to be watching, sir, and I would tell you this if you were in my office. You need to stop doing this documentary.
Indicted him on sexual assault of a minor.
Why do you think you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old?
I mean, the reason why I wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old is already fucking clear. Fucking a bitch's innocence away, you know?
Is EDP445 a pedophile? Yes, I believe he is.
I don't give a fuck if you're a minor. I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, she's just a girl. You can't be doing that shit. Bitch, you gotta die.
It's just, the dude is a monster. Like, an actual, straight-up, honest-to-God monster.
This is one of those moments in YouTube history where everybody saw this.
445 situation.
And now this? With a 15-year-old girl?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't care that he keeps on committing crime.
I mean, you don't give a fuck how old she is. You just trying to get your fucking nut in.
13-year-olds. 14-year-olds.
Oh, well, he was talking to 13 and 12-year-olds. Fuck all that.
But now you're gonna tell me the next documentary Mike Clum's gonna do is this guy EDP.
Ain't that pussy? Fucking fine!
Am I a pedophile? Fuck no. You're answering me a 14-year-old.
I want to take full responsibility for my actions.
For words, 2 years ago you were caught, kiss my ass, and
I would say EDP is completely innocent.
He's a genuine, great guy. He really is.
Okay, all right. So, again, what brings you out here today?
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
All right, so the documentary is officially starting. Like I said already, if you guys were interested in will the stream stay up? Yes, as long as it don't mess around and get struck down. If you guys remember a couple of years ago, all of the EDP videos, I started to receive a number of different strikes in the midst of getting those up. So I had to take them down. I still have them. The long stream, I'm not sure if that one I still have access to, but they started taking them down here. Now that is, out there, I will periodically be stopping this throughout. I started the stream. We played the entire thing in its entirety. If you guys were interested in watching the entire documentary without my commentary, because this is the second time watching this, so I will be breaking things down. Go to Mike Clum's page. Go and check the entire documentary out. It's an hour, 34 minutes. I will be breaking this down live. That is why I will be stopping this. I just want you guys to know. All right, let's continue. Let's get into it. Now we fixing to break things down piece by piece. Let's go.
45 minutes to an hour out of Vegas, so I should be getting in about an hour, and we should probably get there. We can get set up and start filming. But just wanted to make sure you're all good.
You're 6-7 months later.
Correct.
Where's your head at? What's life like?
Life right now is pretty great. I can honestly say I have not talked to a single fucking minor on any social media platforms. I have 2 great paying, well-loving jobs. My health is, pretty fucked up, but I'm doing whatever I can to try to, take care of myself. And the only thing that we can continue doing is continue to try to push forward,
In this documentary, we show blatant proof
and evidence of you committing multiple crimes against children. What do you have to say to that?
Plead the fifth.
That look like somebody who's remorseful for their actions?
I was born in Los Angeles, California, in Compton Hospital. My childhood was pretty great. You know, I had two great, loving, caring parents, you know. So my first ever Eagles game was November 30th, 1997. What really made me fall in love with them was actually the logo on the helmet and how pissed off the actual logo looked. And from that point on, I was like, fuck it. That's the team that I'm going to follow. My favorite memory as a kid growing up was Monday nights, me and my sister would do our homework, and then at around 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock, we would get ready to watch Monday Night Raw is War, like fucking wrestling and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, we had a great time growing up, you know? So my favorite memory growing up was probably just getting ready to watch wrestling. What I loved most about wrestling growing up was I loved the bad guys. My favorite wrestler growing up, I would probably have to say was like Triple H, you know what I mean? Because Triple H was a fucking piece of shit. Like, he did what the fuck he had to do to get to the top, and he didn't give a damn who he fucked over. He didn't give a damn how you felt about him. Like, take a hammer, bash your fucking brains out, cool, fuck it, take his title and leave. I always loved the bad guys, you know? After a while, the whole, you know, typical bullshit where it's like, you know, come out and save the day, you know, nobody gives a fuck about that shit, you know what I mean? Like, we want to see like some villains. I really connected with villains because they just did a lot of foul and fucked up shit. Without villains, you wouldn't have a storyline. For me, I just felt like, you know, the villain was more important than the fucking hero, basically, you know what I mean?
So you decided to become a villain. He decided to become a villain. There's no knock on anybody who he happens to admire as villains.
So in high school, I tried to talk to girls here and there, but it just wasn't fucking working. More specifically, I tried talking to Martha. She basically led me the fuck on. She let me hug her. She even held hands with me. Low-key, she was talking to somebody else. When she broke it off with me, I was so hurt. I went home. I ran up the stairs. I was crying in my fucking room, head in my fucking pillow. I was legitimately fucking hurt. Like, I felt crushed inside, you know? With Martha, it basically showed me women ain't shit, and they will play you, they will fuck you over, and won't even fucking think twice about it. Finishing up high school, my mindset with women was, all right, cool, fuck them, who gives a shit? Shit, after high school, I got this job working at Walmart, got fired within a month. Then the YouTube channel happened.
Before we even continue from there, I just want to point something out. This one experience he had as a boy was enough to go and send this dude down this path. I can't speak for everybody, but a number of people when they was in high school, whatever the case is, maybe even junior high, maybe you got your heart broke. Maybe you thought something was going to go somewhere it didn't go, right? And I know there's some youth that happens to be in here as well. That don't mean it's the end of the world. It may feel that way at that particular time. But you know what you do? You put the pieces back together and you move on from there. This man held that resentment from childhood into adulthood and allowed that to manifest into what the fuck he became. Outrageous behavior. Outrageous behavior. And as we get ready to move forward from there, he's the epitome of an incel. He's the epitome of an incel, right? And it's not what the internet likes to concoct to have the definition of the incel ultimately go and change. He is involuntarily celibate. He can't get a woman until we, at the end of the documentary, we'll get into that when we cross that bridge, right? But he is the epitome of that. The worst type of male that you have in mind, that's who he is. And of course, we're going to continue right here. The child actor for this era of EDP, phenomenal job. I will say this much. Some of the shots we didn't need to have. You'll see them in a bit. Nonetheless, let's continue. Mick Chilson, I know you came in here probably to go and troll. Let's not do that. This documentary is about EDP. We're not, the Eagles fans, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. The entirety subject matter of the doc is EDP. We're going to keep the comments regarding EDP. That's it. We don't need no damn projection. We don't need no super generalization. We don't need none of that goddamn shit. This is not going to be the location for y'all to just come in here. We're going to come in here and troll. Let's just go and talk about everybody under the sun. This is primarily targeted at EDP. My commentary is primarily targeted towards EDP. It got nothing to do with anybody else. I would hope y'all could do the same. I know it's fun to come in here and troll and shit, but we talk about an incredibly evil motherfucker here. And we got to keep the center and the focus on the stream on EDP, please. I'm going to ask y'all once.
I remember sitting down one day and I wanted to make a porn-related YouTube name. And so I'm just sitting there. I literally just got off a fucking Pornhub, I swear to God. And I went on YouTube. I clicked on create an account and it said, what do you want your username to be? And I'm like, I typed in eat that pussy, right? And I was like, well, I gotta come up with some type of numbers, you know what I mean? At first I started, eat that pussy 555. Doesn't fucking sound right. Sounds fucking stupid, you know what I mean? Eat that pussy 926. I'm just like, nah, it's fucking dumb. I got up, I went to go weigh myself. At that current time, I was 445 pounds.
Fat folks.
And I'm like, there it is. Eat that pussy 445.
It is hilarious to imagine that the 445 was built off of his actual weight at the time. Furthermore, to be that large, just now coming out of high school is outrageous. I ain't gonna hold you, fam.
All of my anger leading back from middle school, high school, getting rejected by women, it just came the fuck out in that one goddamn video. I was fucking heated. Once I started uploading more and people started sharing my videos a lot more, the shit blew up. From that point on, my subscribers just started increasing and increasing and increasing, and before you knew it, I had close to 4 million subscribers.
Context has to be applied here. He started his channel, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 2010. I have to remember from when I first discovered him, and then I sat there for 2 days straight watching all of his videos, or I should say a bulk share of the videos. I didn't watch every single one, but I did watch a number of the videos. I believe he started his channel in 2010. To get to the 4 million, it was 10 years. I discovered him, 2020? So, and I think I may have saw him passingly throughout, the creation of my videos. For those who are new to the channel, I do a lot of reactions during the NFL season to the Pittsburgh Steelers because I'm a Steelers fan. And I think it was either 2017, 2018, I came across a clip of his reaction on Twitter. And then periodically people would send me videos, like YouTube videos here and there, but I never knew of the full-on channel, right? Or I should say consume the full-on channel. I would just see videos passingly here and there. That being said, the reason why I'm bringing this up is him getting to the 4 million was a decade in the making. It was a decade. It wasn't as if he just started uploading. Well, yeah, 2010. Yeah, I confirmed 2010. It wasn't as if He just, all right, 2010 started uploading and bam, 4 million within a year, 2 years. It was a decade building to that point. Now that that's established, let's move on.
For the first time in my life, I felt a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? It was a great feeling. It was really amazing.
And I think that's actually good journalism here regarding the having the silver plaque, because for those who don't know, when EDP made it to 1 million, YouTube didn't send him a plaque because his channel was in violation. A subscriber of his had to customize and make a gold plaque for him. So that's very good journalism to not have the golden plaque, but have the actual YouTube silver plaque here. I just felt like that needed to be said. Yeah, Mr. Antons, we're going to get to that much later in the doc.
At the current point in time, even at the peak of my YouTube channel, I was still a virgin. You know, I didn't have any self-confidence to talk to girls. You know, it's like you come home to all this shit, man. You got a nice ass fucking Acura MDX up in the parking lot, brand new 2021 Hyundai Elantra, nice ass house. You got fucking over 120 grand in the fucking bank. No pussy at all. Jacking off watching porn. Calling 1-800 phone sex lines and shit. It's like, had all this fucking money and still couldn't get a fucking girlfriend. That shit was like, what the fuck, you know what I mean?
And this is no, listen, for the virgins who happen to be out there, this is no knock on y'all. Ain't no problem with being a doggone virgin, right? This is his story. Ain't nothing wrong with being a virgin. Oh, I gotta ban somebody, bet say less. I'm gonna go find them. I got you. Get ready. The next 30-something seconds, you out of here. Son playing games in the chat? Cool. I told you, I ain't gonna tell you. I'm only gonna tell you once. Folks getting banned.
At that point in time, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? At that point in time, I was willing to do whatever the fuck I had to do to get some sort of attention. And right then and there, you fucked up, because now something bad is about to happen, you know what I mean?
Hey, baby, let me give you a call back. I'm gonna make the video, all right? All right, love you.
My name is Johnny Rodriguez, aka Cold Raven, or some people know me as Cold Raven's Nest, sadly still a YouTuber. EDP is a chocolate hippopotamus, and I'd like to split his fucking skull. I've been having these feelings for quite some time because he's a manipulative, lying, pretentious, disingenuous, flip-flopping piece of shit. He has no balls.
So this means that you're guilty as fuck, homie. You're guilty as
So inside my first video, I came out with just accusations. In the second video, I showed dead proof evidence.
So what is this, man? Come on, EDP445. I thought you said you're not a pedo, right?
Also, let me add regarding Cold Raven, in the initial video when all of the well, I can't even say allegations, when Chet Goldstein and CC Unit had their sting operation, when that video had came out and I saw it in real time, the second video I made, I went back and watched all of Cold Raven's, you know, breakdowns of what transpired. You could go to Cold Raven's channel right now. If I'm not mistaken, those videos should still be up unless they were starting to get struck down by EDP. I can't say EDP and his team. I'd highly doubt that that man had a team. One way or another, those videos are probably still up. They're all verifiable. This isn't a situation where it's just somebody making claims. They all verifiable, right? We can acknowledge that Goldstein CC Unit, they fucked up the sting. We'll get into that when we get there later in the doc. But I just want y'all to know, this isn't some YouTuber that came out the wazoo out of nowhere trying to go and chase clout after the fact. It's all verifiable. 5-6 years ago, he was making these videos showcasing EDP's wicked ways. So if there was somebody who was the first person to go and do it, it was him.
Of him texting 2 to 3 girls, cute, calling them sexy, more girls started coming out and started texting me like, hey, he was also texting me this inappropriate stuff. So I looked at his followers list, right? He had around 300 to 400 accounts he was following. The problem with that is around 120 to 130 of these accounts, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. I knew at this point it was just out of my hands. This is not my expertise. There's only so much I can show. So I need to take it to the next level. And out there, you got a lot of these guys who catch predators online. And there was one guy I've been watching for years who's really, really, really good at it. I reached out to him. His name is Alex Rosen.
My name's Alex Rosen, and I'm the head of Predator Poachers, and we catch online child predators. Well, Cold Raven basically was sounding the alarms before I even knew about any of this with EDP. And at first, to be truthful, I didn't want to believe it. I was just like, oh, EDP's an incel, this and that. But, you know, seeing the evidence, it was very blatant that he was not only just following underage kids, he was hitting on them in the comments, and obviously I'm sure he was trying to DM them as well. So that gave us reason to throw an account his way and to follow him. And in our profile, we had that we were 13 years old. We reach out to him, we just say, hi, I'm a big fan. And he says,
hey, what's up?
Just found your YouTube channel. Why are you so funny?
Because I keep it real on these faggots. That's why.
And the conversation ends there. And then 2 days later, he messages us again, completely out of the blue, and picks up the conversation.
LOL. What are you doing?
Oh, and let's just acknowledge regarding Chet Goldstein, yes, terrible human being as well. Indeed, also, you know, verifiably racist. There's that as well. When the information continued to break years ago, I also acknowledged his outstandings as well in multiple different chat rooms, going in there, doing underhanded, dastardly things as well. So he's no saint by any estimation. However, he was indeed another individual who spearheaded attempting to go and catch EDP. We can acknowledge that as well. What did I say? Chet Goldstein? Yeah, Alex Rosen. Alex Rosen, Chet Goldstein. Yeah, the account name was Chet Goldstein. I believe it was Alex Rosen. Yeah. Chet is Alex, if I'm not mistaken. So Chet Goldstein, Alex Rosen, same person, if I'm not mistaken. So just so y'all know, I'm well aware of his background as well, and you should be as well.
Nothing. I'm 13. I don't know if I told you.
That makes up you and about 99% of my no pussy getting fucking faggot fan base.
Yeah, he starts off very cordial, and then he slowly starts a grooming process.
Can I tell you a secret? Promise not to tell.
Yeah, sure.
I always wanted to get to know someone young. A little cutie like yourself.
And, you know, compliments, and then it kind of goes to sexual stuff.
Wish I could hug you to warm you up.
When and where?
Someday soon at the park, or wherever you're comfy with.
And then eventually he's just full on soliciting sex.
Would you want to do anything else?
You mean like sex or something?
Maybe. Would that be bad?
We can, but only when you're ready.
Hanging out, chilling, you know, just got done doing some cameos, bullshitting, shooting shit, watching TV or whatever. And I get this random ass fucking message by some chick that goes by the name of Sophie Smith.
Also, for those who don't know, because he said sitting around doing cameos, Cameo's an app in which people can book you for shout outs. I'm not going to do a selfish plug and say, hey, book Chiseled Adonis on Cameo. But he was huge, not just, you know, regularly, but he was big on Cameo. Humongous, gargantuan, you know, elephantine, massive, cataclysmic. He was very big, large on Cameo, raking in hundreds, thousands, maybe even tens of thousands on the app. So he was big on Cameo. That was, in my opinion, maybe a 1, 2, or maybe 3 in his hierarchy for income, if you will. Let's continue.
She said that my videos were really funny. Said that she loved my fucking content, you know, all this shit, you know. Yeah, so it was about a month in when things started getting sexual.
Listen, I know your body is growing and you're starting to develop. That's why I agreed to this. I want to be your...
Man's doing the silhouette challenge. I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, I appreciate the fact that Mike Clum was able to go and find a actor who can play the role of EDP, but I ain't gonna hold you. Some of these scenes was unnecessary. We didn't need this man doing a silhouette challenge. All right, we ain't need man's butt ass naked with questionable camera angles in order to go and get the shot. You could have had this blurred. I ain't gonna hold you, son. But still, hey, good documentary. I'm just saying, we ain't need to see this, fam. You would have thought this was what was it, 2022? Bust it. Bust. This dude about to do the silhouette challenge? What part of the game is this, fam? Ain't nobody trying to see no damn whole body that look like a titty, butt ass naked in the door frame with a red light. This is ridiculous, son. He in Amsterdam? He in the red light district? What are we doing?
First.
Why did I respond to a 13-year-old? Desperation, isolation, loneliness. It's boring as fuck. You have nothing going on. You don't even know how to talk to a fucking girl.
If you want, you can try oral first. I can taste and lick on your vagina. And then you can suck my cock.
You need some sort of excitement in your fucking life. So I said fucking and went along with it.
You're so hot and cute, and even have me jerking off.
Ooh, that's hot. Can I see?
See this right here. We didn't need this camera angle. We didn't need this camera angle. And they got that discount Anne Frank playing the role.
Wow.
Ooh, I gotta relax.
It's so big.
At the time, me sending sexual pictures to a 13-year-old, I was fucking lonely and just not getting any fucking action, not getting fucking laid, not having the confidence to talk to a girl of my age. It was a fucking shit show.
Bend you over my table and just slide my cock inside you and slowly begin to take your virginity. I want to fuck your innocence away.
Like, did we need that scene? Like, did we need that? They found a blow-up doll and then said, yo, what you gonna do is put the almighty stroke on this blow-up doll. We didn't need that scene. Come on, bro. We ain't need
when
that
I blocked her, I knew that it was wrong. I knew that it was something that was highly illegal, that shouldn't be done. You know, so I was clearly aware of the law and I was clearly aware of what I was doing, you know, clearly aware of my actions and totally understanding of, you know, what I was doing, you know what I mean?
Sophie, I can't do this. I can't do this shit. You're so young. You're 13 and I'm 30. You should be dating boys your own age.
I ended up unblocking her simply due to the fact that, you know, I felt bad. I mean, I felt bad, and at the same time, you know, she was like the only person that was really giving me that sort of attention, you know what I mean? And ultimately just led to me unblocking her.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me for blocking you. I got scared. I hope you aren't upset. I'm sorry for not taking your feelings into consideration. I will next time. I promise. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Might I add, he acknowledges that he was fully aware what he was doing was wrong. This is very important. Because if it was a scenario in which he didn't understand that this is against the law and what he's doing is a crime, it's not a cop-out by any estimation. But it could be a scenario where perhaps you're not in your right mind. Now, albeit continuing to move forward, you're not in your right mind either, right? But you acknowledging, knowing that what you was doing was wrong. You caught yourself and blocked her. Then proceeded to unblock her and continue to move forward. Right. We need to remember, he acknowledged that he knew what the hell he was doing was wrong. And furthermore, even if the adult women are uninterested in you, let's just straight up call a spade a spade. Bulk share of us have been adults longer than we have it. For those who haven't been adults longer than you haven't, you've been an adult long enough to probably watch the interworkings of a relationship between man and woman, or furthermore, with social media in today's day and age, you can find somebody who will be willing to talk to you. I'm not going to sit over here and say it's easy, but you can find somebody who's out there. Even if it never escalates to the point where you meet in person, there is legitimately a 9.5 out of 10 chance you can encounter somebody on the interwebs that will go back and forth and at least entertain what the fuck you got going on. Let's just be 110% real. It ain't easy, but it's 100% possible. You can go and find pen pals incarcerated. Go to Idaho. All the ladies in Idaho is horny in that correction center. California. There's numerous different outlets where if you were just looking for somebody to go and converse with, you can go and find them. He chose to continue to speak with an underage child, fully aware that one, they were indeed a child. Two, that what he was doing was wrong. He identified, hey, wait a minute, I'm wildin', let me go ahead and block you, and then went forth, rather than finding a solution and finding somebody who's of age to continue to go and entertain, he decided to go and return and go to the child. Let's continue.
She says, you should fucking jerk off on, you should fucking jerk off to me on FaceTime. And I'm like, all right, cool, sure, why not? Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Well, in any state in the country, meeting a minor off the internet when there's no strings attached is not illegal. There needs to be some strings attached. So after EDP sent the masturbation videos, after he said, like, I want to throw you in my sex dungeon and fuck you, stuff like that, that's when we're like, okay, we can go ahead with the meetup.
Yeah, so pretty much she told me that her grandma was supposed to be like, I guess out and about doing something or whatever, therefore like giving us quote unquote alone time or whatever. So yeah. And to be honest with you, man, like I ultimately decided to go simply because I felt bad.
You went because you felt bad. Felt bad for who? For the child? Felt bad for who? Yourself? It's a bit, it's kind of unfinished. Felt bad. How? Felt bad for what? You felt bad, so you said, yeah, you know what? I'm going to pull up on this 13-year-old. What?
During that day, I actually blocked her 1 or maybe 2 times. Then I unblocked her ass. She was like, oh my God, why'd you block me? Blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her, I'm looking like, Sophie, I can't fucking do this shit. Like, this is fucking illegal. Like, I can't, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? And she started crying up on the phone. She's all like, oh my God, I just wanted to give you a cupcake, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm here making cupcakes. I wanted to give you one,
So the story was that we also baked cupcakes. So then, he's kind of nervous the day of, like, he's very, like, apprehensive. We're like, oh, well, I still made cupcakes. And that's what led EDP to be like, okay, I'll come. So that's kind of the deal with that.
When I was driving to that location, my mom was a heavy smoker. She used to smoke Coors 100, the green pack. And so when I was driving there, I smelt my mom's, the scent of her cigarettes coming from the back seat. That's something I never told anyone. I felt like my mom was with me, watching over me,
What do you think your mom was trying to tell you?
I felt like she was trying to tell me don't go. I was, you know, thinking this up in my head. How the fuck is this going to go down? How am I going to act? What am I going to say? You know what I mean? Like, horny as fuck. Fuck the porn shit. You were just craving, like, you know, human contact.
When we first watched through this, hard stop right. When we first watched through this, and for those who are unaware, this is the replay. We're watching it for the second time. If you're curious and watching the entire thing in its entirety without any stops, no commentary, nothing, either go to the beginning of the stream when we first did it or head over to Mike Clum's YouTube channel right now. Make sure y'all go and y'all tap in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. He did a hell of a job on the documentary. Now, one thing we want to point out here. For one, he said he felt the presence of his mother. For those who had consumed EDP's, you know, content before, when his mom passed, that was probably the lowest point that he ever was, up until, you know, he decided to go and talk to children. But that was probably the lowest point in his life. He held his mother in incredibly high regard. You said you felt her presence in the vehicle on a day in which you unblocked 13-year-old on multiple occasions, because there was more than one by his own, you know, volition. You got in the vehicle, you felt as if your mother was there, you still had the horn overcome you. That being said, there was a particular scene here that I would like a little context from, right?
Because fuck the porn shit. You were just craving, like,
did he pop a blue diamond en route to the location he was intercepted? That's what I would like to know. It was never mentioned at any point before, but I'm very curious if he popped the blue diamond. Was there Viagra? Was there Ro? Was there Blue Chew? Was there Roman? Was there Rex MD? Was there what? Cialis? What did this man pop a Viagra en route to go and see a child? That's what I would like to know. He popped the perk, hey, potentially. But one way or another, I would love to know if that's something that he did.
You know, human contact, you know what I mean? So
then the day comes in Bakersfield, and that's when he's getting like very, very nervous about everything, but he agrees to come nonetheless. And we're just waiting at the Jack in the Box, you know, just kind of having a good angle of the apartments we gave him. And then we just see like this giant blob walking up this ramp. And I mean, he's massive from a distance. I'm like, oh my God, that's him. I was like, hey, what's up, EDP? And he's like, what's up? And he puts his hand out for a fist bump, and I give him a fist bump. And then he tries to fist bump CC Unit, and CC Unit's like, I don't like fist bump people like you.
Well, fist bump? I don't fist bump people like you, man.
I mean, when he wouldn't fist bump me, I mean, it felt like the classic case of fucking rejection. So,
okay.
And
I can't believe that he agreed to come back to this particular site. Furthermore, the fact that he's even still like in the, I don't know if it registered in his mind, not only doing the documentary, but going to the different sites, what that make him look like. But at this particular point, you so deep in it, could you appear any worse? So maybe that's why he had decided going forth with it. But it just felt like he's thumbing his nose at everybody. The fact that he would go there to the site and still appear to have no shame, no remorse for what transpired.
And, you know, I told him, like, hey, we got to kind of go over with the things with Sophie.
we have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay. I was caught red-handed. Shit was about to go down.
And he's like, I'm just here to get a cupcake.
They had the transcripts, they had the logs, they had the screenshots and all that shit. And I mean, I basically just told him, yeah, man, I'm just here to get a fucking cupcake. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Again, so what brings you out here today?
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
and then go back home.
The EDP445 situation.
Still EDP445.
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 When EDP got caught and the video got uploaded, it went viral immediately.
The memes blew up. They were all over the place. There was no escaping the EDP445 cupcake memes.
And
I will say I kind of wish that I was involved alongside the compilation of the other YouTubers. My video went viral as well. I wasn't part of it. Now, albeit I ain't clout chasing by any estimation. I just, as Isaiah Thomas once said, you know, I met the criteria, but I was not selected. Let's move on.
And then we get into the messages, and he admits to sending tons of penis pictures, admits to wanting to have sex with her.
You were interested in having sex with a 13-year-old, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, and you said
correct.
Okay, all right.
As much as he lies to the camera now, he was very forthcoming with us when we interviewed him.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Is your life over?
It's up to you, dude. I thought my fucking life was over. Started crying, you know, all that theatrical bullshit. Come on, man, please. No. You know, as I was walking up, I thought this was a real ass person.
You did double text here, yes or no?
Correct.
Knowing, and it said on her profile 13, yes?
Correct.
Okay, so you initiated the conversation with a 13-year-old, knowing she was 13, yes or no?
But the main thing I feel like I regret that day is I didn't bring my Glock off the counter and I didn't shoot those motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
He's right in the front, he admitted.
I just want to acknowledge that him saying, oh, well, he wished that he brought his weapon so he could go and shoot those individuals. Why is that? Why is that? An admission of guilt? You wanted to try to dodge the accountability? Because albeit, if this was in 2026, the sting operation would have probably been a live stream. 2021, it was a recorded video, if you will, right? So if in the event he eliminated CC Unit and Alex Rosen, he could then, and also the cameraman as well, he could then take their equipment, delete said footage, or destroy the equipment, and nothing would get out outside of the fact that, you know, hey, very large, gargantuan, elephantine, humongous, you know, cataclysmic size, mammoth-like figure eliminated 3, potentially 4 individuals, waddled his way into his vehicle, and then drove off, you know, throughout the remainder of the roads in California and Bakersfield. One way or another, he would have gotten apprehended because Lord knows he can't move that fast. One way or another, he could have potentially prevented, you know, the footage from coming out. Just wanted to have that stated as to why he probably wanted to go and unleash the Glock, as Arn Anderson once said to Cody Rhodes. So you have an understanding as to why.
In my mind, as I'm walking out, just get the fuck out, dude. Just go. Get out, go, run, now.
Run? Run? He said run. Does this look like a run? I'm not going to harp too heavily on it, but
dude,
does this
just
look
go.
like a run?
Get out, go, run, now.
Run? Run? There's no run in his vocabulary.
Well, I thought that it would
that
blow over because, like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, you know, yeah, I got caught, but nothing actually fucking happened. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I'm just like, whatever. I really wasn't aware of how badly I fucked up until probably like a few days later.
You know how crazy that is?
The shit made the news.
Think about the mindset to not think that would be a big problem.
You know what I mean? It was front page on Yahoo, on Google. Came to the conclusion, better call a fucking lawyer. Told him straight the fuck up, man, especially when, you know, when you're talking to a lawyer, you better not hide a motherfucking thing. And he's all like, well, obviously what you did was illegal. Give me some time to look into it. I got connections down at the police department. I'll look into it and I'll keep you updated. Like, okay, cool. 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5.
Admission of guilt,
6,
might I add.
7. Give him a call. I'm like, everything cool? What the fuck? Like, should I be worried? he's all like, he's all like, oh no, man, just sit tight, man, ain't nothing going on. He has a little computer to where, you know, he can see if, like, you know, you're under investigation or anything like that. Was never under investigation. Yeah, they looked into it, but because good old Alex Rosen, right? Because he decided to fuck up and botch this goddamn sting operation so badly, there's nothing that they could do. So as much as they wanna write all this fucked up shit about me online and I should be in jail, prison, felon, I should be on the sex offenders list and all this bullshit. Guess what, bro? I'm a free man, bitch.
Before we even move on from here, right, with the montage and now all the shooting, right, let's just acknowledge something. He's jubilant that Alex Rosen and CCU, they fucked up because they sent the message first, right? That being said, he's like, oh, well, yeah, everybody who has something negative to say, well, I'm a free man. You already acknowledged what you were doing was wrong. Just because they fucked up on the investigation and how they put everything together does not absolve you from what it was that you did. In the way he delivered this decree, if you will, he makes it seem as if, oh, well, you know, they messed up, so hey, you know, no harm, no foul. Man's got to the crib, sat there and said, yeah, I think everything's gonna blow over. Oh shit, yo, it's on the news. Damn, that's crazy. You were literally going to meet up with a 13-year-old. You just thought, oh, well, some people posted it online, it's just gonna blow over. You said if you had your firearm with you, you would eliminate these people. If it wasn't that big of a deal, why would you even think of wanting to go and eliminate them? Furthermore, the fact that you blocked, unblocked, and still went into the vehicle, began the process of driving, felt the presence of your mother telling you to stop doing something that you already acknowledged was illegal. You still proceeded to go to the site, got out of the vehicle, waddled your way up the doggone ramp, trying to make your way inside of this crib of who you believe to be 13-year-old girl to bake you some cupcakes so that you can go and ultimately not only eat that sugar, but try to provide or possibly consume her actual physical sugar. You've acknowledged all of this, but because they messed up the investigation, all of a sudden, hey man, hey, I'm a free man. Woo, this is great. You can't call me a pedophile. It never happened. What kind of genjutsu you thought we under? What kind of genjutsu you think we under? But now let's move forward to the part that this was all covered 5 years ago when I made my reaction to everything. I had all this covered as well. Unfortunately, YouTube had it taken down. I still have it somewhere. Maybe I'll go and upload it, but is it worth risking the channel? I don't know. Let's get into the montage.
In the media, suck that motherfucking dick to a goddamn phone.
We're gonna send these motherfuckers to hell, rightfully so, where they fucking rightfully belong.
Oh, Cooley, they're gonna explain why they fucked up. They're gonna explain it. They're gonna explain it. I can explain, but it's gonna be explained, so there's no need for me to reiterate, regurgitate, and reverberate same said sentiments. You'll see it in a bit.
There's definitely a chance that he faces criminal prosecution.
Because of the self-incrimination.
What he's doing now, by quite frankly doing this documentary, 100%. It's just a stupid fucking idea.
Alright, what's up with these bitch ass motherfuckers and trolling ass dick sucking?
Okay, so the first picture is his erect penis, and then the second one looks like he has ejaculated. So that will get you into trouble. He's well within the statute of limitations. Just on that alone, he could be prosecuted.
Hi, my name is Mike Clum. I was calling to speak with the Kern County District Attorney.
By the way, this gentleman right here,
Mike Clum. I was calling
This is the
to speak with the Kern County District.
This is the creator of this very documentary. So again, if you guys want to go and watch this in its entirety without my reaction or breakdown, either go to the beginning of the stream. I know Twitch, you can't do that, but YouTube, you can. Or head over to his YouTube channel, Mike Clum, like, comment, subscribe, and watch it in its entirety. It's 94 minutes, 10 seconds. Feel free to go watch the entire thing. We were already live, watch the entire thing in its entirety without any breakdown, but we're doing a breakdown now. So this is the creator of the documentary. If you needed a face for the project, that's who it is. Let's get back into it.
District. Hi, my name is Mike Clum. I was calling to speak with the Kern County District Attorney. Okay, if Miss Zimmer is not available, is there anyone else that could speak to why EDP has not been prosecuted? Maybe like the sheriff.
And I love the fact that he had their faces in there and names, because you need to know these people who aren't, you know, at least responding. But albeit,
guy wants
they could have done a better job.
Chilling with a 13-year-old girl.
Enter Chris Hansen.
Why don't you have a seat right over there? Brian, have a seat.
And I'll get to all of the donations at the end of the stream. So don't think I'm ignoring y'all, but for
Why did you show up that day? Why did you go to that location? What did you think was going to happen?
I showed up to that location that day, trying to obviously meet up with an underage girl. You know what I mean? And I guess you can say trying to have sex. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You trying to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
For the most part, yep. People have a...
That is the admission of guilt. He just admitted it right there on camera. Under no circumstances can he find his way out of this. Under no circumstances. He just admitted. Now, albeit, the investigation didn't go well. Right? That being said, he said it on camera. He admitted to his intentions, why he went there, and had he not gotten intercepted, this ultimately has him saying, hey, that would have been the plan. So there's no, oh, I'm going there to go pick up no cupcakes, none of that. Continue.
Tendency of doing this, I feel like, because they enjoy the innocence and having control of somebody, you know?
Sounds like that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
Nobody your age you could have hung out with.
No.
No women your age you could date. You had to pick on a 13-year-old girl.
That's funny?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God, babe, it's a playful spank, you say. When I spank you, it's supposed to be sexy, LOL. If anything, I just bend you over and kiss your ass. Yes, well, maybe, but only if you're a good girl. What are you trying to do here with this?
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to sexually assault a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean...
Handcuff you. Throw you in the back of my car and bring you back to my dungeon, LOL. You talk about climbing through a window.
Mm-hmm.
You're so hot and cute and even had me jerking off. Were you masturbating when you were talking to her?
Mm-hmm.
You sent her pictures?
Yeah.
You sent her pictures of your penis?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right, I know.
It's illegal. Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
Well.
Son said, thank God he didn't. By not botching it. Does this look like somebody who's remorseful for their actions? Does that look like somebody who's remorseful for their action? Not by the still photo. We'll go back and listen to his reactions and responses to what it is that Chris Hansen's saying. Does this come off as somebody who is remorseful for their actions? He acknowledges, yeah, it was wrong. But look at his body language.
It sounds like you're trying to sexually assault a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean...
Handcuff you. Throw you in the back of my car and bring you back to my dungeon, LOL. You talk about climbing through a window.
Mm-hmm.
You're so hot and cute and even had me jerking off. Were you masturbating when you were talking to her?
Mm-hmm.
You sent her pictures?
Yeah.
You sent her pictures of your penis?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right, I know.
It's illegal. Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
Well, you could look at it two ways. Maybe prison is where you belong because of this.
If it was where I belong, I'd be in shackles right now, so.
But I have to tell you something. Had this been me doing an investigation, your EDP445 ass would be in prison now.
EDP is clearly in trouble here. What he did was wrong, and under a different set of circumstances, against the law. The fact that the decoy posing as Sophie sent the first message would make the case virtually unprosecutable in my world, in the world of law enforcement. The adult always has to make the first approach. Otherwise, you jeopardize the case. And again, it probably was something that for Alex Rosen created a lot of views and clicks and made some news in different pockets of the internet. But the case isn't prosecutable. And at the end of the day, it looks amateurish and sloppy.
And he's going to start talking to Alex Rosen here. And that's primarily why they botched the entirety of the operation, because the origin in how they did it was wrong. Now, albeit you want to lure these predators out and then ultimately catch them, but you don't engage first. You simply create a scenario to where they now go and reach out. Maybe there's a chat room that's created to where now you open up the door for EDP and people like him to now want to go and infiltrate. That way you can open it up to where it's, hey, this person went and reached out. If I now reach out first and I'm somewhat fishing for you, that doesn't take away EDP's actions. However, you reach out first, that changes the entirety of the dynamic. And then furthermore, call a spade, Alex Rosen, him, the other people who was like on Twitter that was like fighting folks and make people fight, they're trying so heavily to go viral. We'll see with Gideon in a bit. It takes away, not from the purity of it, because to a degree, and it's brought up a little later as well regarding, you know, Chris Hansen as well, where it's played up for the cameras and stuff. If the goal is to get these people behind bars, and the reason why you do it is to get people arrested, that needs to be the core and the catalyst for everything. It can't be, well, you know, if we just do this by the book, but it's not entertaining, we're not going to get as much views. If you claim this is why you created the channel and why it is that you do what you do, the whole purpose is getting folks behind bars. It don't matter if it's not entertaining or not. If the entire premise is to get folks apprehended by the law, that should be what it is. And Alex Rosen, CC Unit, by way of proxy, Gideon, I don't know too much of Skeeter. Maybe I'll watch some of his videos as well. And those other individuals who was doing the stuff that was on Twitter that I saw when somebody jumped out of a fucking tree to elbow somebody. All these folks is chasing clips. They chasing views, AdSense. Not to say that, hey, you know, maybe potentially they don't care too much about folks getting put behind bars. I ain't saying that maybe they don't have a remnants of it. But the bulk share of it is being able to go and generate a shit ton of views, not for the right reason. Let's continue.
But what accountability can you take in the fact that EDP is free today?
Well, yeah. I mean, I myself could have done a better job of saying, you know, instead of trying to just like, you know, stand my ground, be bullish, standoffish, infinitely more stuff that I could have done to try to make him, you know, to at least put in more effort into hoping that he gets arrested. But, you know, I can confidently say that Predator Poachers has been responsible for getting like infinitely sicker people in EDP off the streets, and EDP played a part in teaching us that lesson on how to do that.
My thoughts on Alex Rosen is I feel like he's a piece of shit. I feel like he should burn in hell and go fucking die, if I'm being completely honest with you. You're some fucking redneck fucking some fat ass overweight bitch plastering shit on the internet and fucking with people's livelihoods. But you know what though, Mike? It's perfectly fine. It's great because everybody hates a pedophile, right? Okay, cool. So that's perfectly fine. So just, you know, fuck the fact that you're ruining my goddamn life, right? It's good, great, fucking wonderful.
The pot calling the kettle
This world
black.
is fucked up, man.
What are you gonna do the next time you text a 13-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl? There won't be a next
Call
time.
coming from
There won't be a
inside the
next
house,
time. There won't be a
indeed.
next time. That's hard for me to believe. I think.
Albeit, let me tell you this much. I'll go back. His feelings towards Alex Rosen, he is 110% valid in feeling the way that he does. That being said, because that feeling is valid, you can feel that way because this is the person who caught you. He can 110% feel that way. That being said, the call is coming from inside the house. That doesn't absolve you from your actions whatsoever. You're angry because you've got caught. You could feel like, man, he's a piece of shit, all this other stuff. We all feel like you're a piece of shit too.
Part in teaching us that lesson on how to do that.
My thoughts on Alex Rosen is I feel like he's a piece of shit. I feel like he should burn in hell and go fucking die, if I'm being completely honest with you. You're some fucking redneck fucking some fat ass overweight bitch plastering shit on the internet and fucking with people's livelihoods.
Damn, man, I could use some fried pickles.
But you know what though, Mike? It's perfectly fine. It's great because everybody hates a pedophile, right? Okay, cool. So that's perfectly fine. So just, fuck the fact that you're ruining my goddamn life, right? It's good, great, fucking wonderful. This world is fucked up, man.
The world's fucked up because he's ruining your life like you didn't ruin
Text
your
a
own life.
13-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl. There won't be a next time. There won't be a next time? There won't be a next time. That's hard for me to believe. I think.
My name is Kayla Hoskins, and in June 2023, I received an Instagram DM from EDP445, otherwise known as Bryant. I first replied to EDP because I always reply to anyone who messages me. And
Before we move on, 2023, this is 2 years later. You saw it there on the graphic, right? Because this went down, the first original sting went down 2021. 2 years later, June 2023, right? Listen to how she framed the original interaction.
my name is Kayla Hoskins, and in June 2023, I received an Instagram DM from EDP445.
She received the message. We saw Chris Hansen give the breakdown as to why in a court of law it wouldn't have worked because Alex Rosen, CC unit, their squad, they had the child reach out to him. She frames this as EDP reached out to her. Let's find out why things went wrong.
Otherwise known as Bryant. I first replied to EDP because I always reply to anyone who messages me. And I didn't know who he was, but I freaked out because he told me he was suicidal. And sooner rather than later, he started sending very flirtatious messages.
Since the day you messaged me, I've been dreaming about sliding my cock deep inside that fresh pussy. Just fucking away your innocence, showing you how a real man does it, pinning you against the bed and taking your virginity.
A while later, Jadion added EDP into his Discord, filled with kids, for a Q&A. And then when I told people in the server that EDP texted me, Jadion quickly knew about it because his manager told him.
Before Gideon even mentions anything, right? Before he even introduces himself. For one, EDP just found her and reached out, right? She brings up Gideon, doesn't even mention how they even came in contact with it. She just says, well, Gideon created a server, chat room, a Q&A, and then she just messaged, she says, EDP message. Let's go back in here. It's better to hear from that.
Filled with kids.
Oh, and before we even get to Gideon, where the fuck are her parents? That's what I would like to know. Because I'm not saying you got to sit around here and just constantly monitor your children's social media, which you should. But that being said, a strange man who, albeit we could be aware in 2023 of what EDP was and what it was that he done did 2 years prior. That being said, the children who were she's 15 in 2023, at the time in which everything went down, she's 13, maybe she wasn't on that side of the internet or on the internet at all, right? Strange man messages you, and she said he started talking about he's suicidal. You don't bring that phone to your parents? Parents, you're not checking in to see what the fuck's going on with your children online and their activity? I understand 15, you're in high school. Summertime, let's say she's 15 turning 16 or 14 just turned 15. You got done with either freshman year or sophomore year in high school. You're not checking in with your children? She getting messages from strange men on the internet. You ain't checking in? And now, we've all been teenagers before. Some of y'all mess around and may be teenagers right now. There'll be situations in which folks is not going to be full on, you know, transparent with what's going on, who's messaging them, whatever the case is, right? But you mean to tell me a strange man messages your doggone daughter? Talking about, oh, well, son feeling a bit suicidal or whatever. It then escalates to the point in which sexually explicit messages are being sent and or images are being sent. And under no circumstance whatsoever is it brought to your attention. That's crazy. That's crazy. Makes no sense to me. No sense to me. I ain't saying you got to be that, what they call, helicopter parent or whatever the case is, to where you damn near like a gargoyle all over your doggone kids. But there's no scenario in which you would find yourself in today's day and age unaware of the social media activity. The children would have to go through several different barriers and all different kinds of chains in order to go and prevent you from seeing what the fuck is going on. How the fuck can these messages get sent and you're unaware of what transpired? At no point was there any mention of this girl's parents in this doc. So it brings up the question, where the fuck were her parents? And then, how did Gideon get in contact with these children, put them inside of this here server? Was the question, oh, well, kids whose EDPs had reached out to? Obviously not, because she was the one who had to go and bring up, hey, EDP actually messaged me. So where the fuck did you find these children? If the purpose of bringing them together was to be just a Q&A, did you contact the parents, or you just talking to children too? Now, albeit it may not be in that particular manner, but you still reaching out to minors. I think there should be a channel in you speaking to another adult in order to get the not confirmation, but get the permission to go and speak with these doggone kids, especially if you're going to open up the door to go and talk to a sick, demonic human being like EDP, because you already knew this directly at Gideon. You already knew the type of person he was at the time of your creation of that chat room to have the Q&A and begin the process of trying to go and catch EDP yourself. Let's continue.
A while later, Gideon added EDP into his Discord, filled with kids, for a Q&A. And then when I told people like in the server that EDP texted me, Gideon quickly knew about it because his manager told him.
Well, my government name is DeMarcus Cousins III, but everybody on the internet knows me as Gideon.
Marcus Cousins III is hilarious.
Yeah, this was like right when I saw the information, I was like, you know what? This is gonna be it, and I want to make sure that I don't screw it up. So I hit up Skeet because he knows and he's actually gotten people prosecuted before.
Might I add, the name Skeet in a documentary like this is crazy. I said it during the first half when we watched it all the way through with no interruptions. That's still wild to me.
My name is Skeeter Gene, also known as Skeet Hansen. I am a professional Chris Hansen impersonator on YouTube.
And I continued messaging him because it was very like encouraged for me to keep doing it.
I want y'all to keep a tally. I want y'all to keep a tally. I want y'all to keep a tally of how many times she says encourage. I said it during the first watch. That was the most important terminology that came out of this young girl's mouth. She's now 18 at this, current juncture. But I want y'all to keep that in mind. I want y'all to keep a tally. How many times she says encouraged and what that entails.
Hansen impersonator on YouTube.
And I continued messaging him because it was very like encouraged for me to keep doing it. I didn't really want to, but I didn't want to disappoint anybody.
The way that ass looks in those leggings, I need you on top of me now.
I didn't want to, but I didn't want to disappoint anybody. You didn't want to keep messaging a strange man online. You felt as if you was encouraged to do so. Still, no mention of her parents. Where are your parents? Let's continue.
I've always wanted to be with a little emo girl.
Because he sent me videos saying that he was gonna shoot me and kill me if I ever said anything.
See, Kayla, don't mean to scare you, but now I have to fucking shoot your ass. I have to critically injure you and possibly put you in the fucking hospital, if not worse. Not only that, I have to kill everybody.
It was uncomfortable. Like, there was days where I didn't even like want to leave my bed. And he was trying to fly me out to Vegas on my 16th birthday to give me, quote, birthday dick.
Full stop. You had a threat to your life. You already acknowledged you were uncomfortable by her omission. You were uncomfortable with continuing to chat. You felt as if you were encouraged to do so. But he threatened your life, not only through text, but by way of voice note as well. Still no mention whatsoever by parent. And yes, I see in the chat room, somebody said, well, she could be a foster, child. There's no going to the police. Even if you were afraid, right? She already mentioned she was in a Discord chat room where adults are present. And furthermore, the adult, Gideon that is, put the chat room together. So if in the event you were in a situation in which you felt encouraged to continue, who encouraged you to continue the conversation? If that happens to be Gideon, which we'll find out momentarily, he must also be aware of the threats that is being put on your life. And yet, the minor was encouraged to continue with said conversation with no mention of her parents. We'll continue.
Well, I sent her a video of myself fucking masturbating, you know what I mean?
Another crime.
Well, I mean, the fact that she fucking asked for the fucking shit.
I want you to think about what you just heard. He said he sent a video of him pleasuring himself to her because she asked for it. But look at how he delivers his response. Just
well, I sent her a video of myself fucking masturbating, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, the fact that she fucking asked for the fucking shit.
he was searching for a reason to validate his action. He was searching for a reason to validate his action. Because she asked for it. You were already aware she was 15. Furthermore, remember the timeline. This is 2023, the second occurrence. Allegedly, because it could be way more. 2 years later from when you got intercepted for going to go and pick up a cupcake, right? With a 13-year-old girl. A 15-year-old girl now asks you for a video of you pleasuring yourself. You send it. And your response, well, you did ask. You're fully aware that you're in the wrong. You still went forth and did it. And
when EDP sent me photos that were very explicit of him, I felt very uncomfortable. but I didn't really know what to do because I felt like it was encouraged by everybody.
Encouraged again.
And
Number 3.
yeah.
Furthermore, another important term. Listen very closely. There's 2 important terms of what she said.
Very uncomfortable. I felt very uncomfortable, but I didn't really know what to do because I felt like it was encouraged by everybody. And yeah.
Who is everybody? Encouraged by everybody. Who is everybody? Who's everybody? At this particular point, you're 15. He was EDP, that is, by her volition, said he wanted to fly her out for her 16th birthday. That means what? Your birthday hasn't arrived yet. So you're still 15. You then claim it was encouraged by everybody. Who's everybody? Who's everybody? There was everybody is plural, not singular. Therefore, there's multiple other individuals who we will assume in this scenario are adults. Now, albeit the only adults that we're aware of right now is Gideon, Skeeter, of course, EDP as well. In this scenario, of course, EDP can be somebody who's encouraging her to go and send, explicit photos, videos. Gideon can be another individual just trying to continue to push this thing along. Skeeter's also implicated in this as well because he's partnering with Gideon. Now, albeit he may not be in said Discord. Maybe he was just brought in for the process of said video. But when she says everybody, who are these everybody individuals? And furthermore, still, no mention of a parent or guardian. Somebody sends you a message that they're going to harm themselves. You don't bring it to an adult. Somebody sends you a message that they would like to engage in any form of coital affairs and or sexual, actions with you. No mention of an adult. Then a threat upon your life. No mention of an adult. Another video and or image now sent from your side. No mention of an adult. Where are your parents and or guardian? They failed this child.
She's all like, hey, would you like to see a picture of my tit? Sure, why not? What the fuck? Like, why the fuck are you even asking me that fucking shit? Sure, why not? So I did play a part in it too, okay? I'm gonna go.
He's
like, sure, why not?
He's gonna. I just want you to listen to what he said. My
tit. She's all like, hey, would you like to see a picture of my tit? Sure, why not? What the fuck? Like, why the fuck are you even asking me that fucking shit? Sure, why not? So I did play a part in it too, okay? I'm looking like, sure, why not?
He already mentioned he sent her a video of him pleasuring himself. He already mentioned in the past that he continued to go and move things along because he felt as if he was building a connection or he was bored or whatever the case just so happens to be, right? I send you a sexually explicit video. If we're having this is a back and forth situation, you're shocked that somebody would ask you if they would like to see something in return. Your entire purpose of continuing the conversation is under the guise of potentially leading to a physical connection. Why would she ask you that? You're under the impression that you're dealing with somebody who's willing to go the extra mile with you. How are you perplexed? You literally sent a video of you pleasuring yourself. How are you perplexed? That makes no sense. Continuing to justify his actions. And yes, he's incredibly casual about it. Let's continue.
Yeah. The reason I let her send me those pictures is because I was horny as fucking beating my shit at the time. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She has a... Never mind, I ain't gonna say that. Go ahead.
You already started saying.
Fine. Kayla got a motherfucking figure on her, okay? Like, let's be fucking honest here, okay? And like, you know, she's over here like, you know, trying to turn me on, you know, all this extra shit, you know what I mean? Teddy pics, you know, saying how she's gonna fucking suck me off when we fucking meet, calling me daddy and all this bullshit. Because in the moment, bro, you don't fucking care. You really don't. You know what I mean? You don't give a fuck about the consequences. You don't care about the rules. You know, and anybody that say that they do, they're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? They're lying to you.
He acknowledged, again, he's 110% aware what it is that he's doing. His claim is, oh, well, I'm so horny, I don't give a damn about the rules and what's going on. He even went on to say, man, she's got an incredible figure. 15 at the time. Oh, yeah. Continue.
At that point in time, all rules are out the fucking window. You know what I mean? You don't give a fuck how old she is. You just trying to get your fucking nut in. You know, and after you know, fucking cream all over the goddamn floor, then you're like, oh shit, I fucked up bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Now, I don't know what you mean. And neither should you. By the way, in the chat room over on YouTube, the creator of the documentary, Mike Clum, is in the building. Mike Club is in the building. We appreciate you dropping the gifteds here. Again, if you didn't get a chance to hear, I did text you, I should say sent you a DM over on Instagram. But furthermore, a phenomenal job on the documentary. If you guys haven't already, make sure y'all go and check it out in its entirety here over on his YouTube channel. The Sick Mind of EDP445 official documentary. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well. If you haven't already, it's 94 minutes and 18 seconds. Truly, it's a great watch all the way through. We watched it already. All right, and we're doing a breakdown in real time after the fact. So if you're curious in watching this in real, or I should say watch it without my commentary at all, either start at the beginning of the stream or go to Mike Clum's page on YouTube. Give him a follow on Instagram as well and check out his stuff. 2 documentaries, 2 absolute bangers, fallen YouTubers. And if you happen to create content like myself, never find yourself as a subject matter for these documentaries. Now let's move forward.
That's where, you know, it all comes into play. You know, what you just did was wrong, you know.
So I was like, okay, Skeet, how do we do this? And we just game planned it out, and we called multiple different law enforcement in her area, trying to set up like a sting operation, and then he backed out, you know? He got cold feet. He didn't want to meet her, you know? He was just, you know, being EDP.
I was hoping to get a sting operation, but they kind of didn't want to do that because Jadeon hired a private investigator that found EDP's apartment, his work, and his dialysis center. So on my birthday, they went to confront him.
After we realized that he wasn't going to drive to actually meet up with the girl, we set something up in Las Vegas, Nevada to try to confront him about what he had been doing online, messaging this girl. Honda SUV? That looks like him.
That's a Honda, bro.
Also, let this be noted, just I don't want you to think it just skated by me. Listen to what it was that she said right here.
I was hoping to get a sting operation, but they kind of didn't want to do that because Jadeon hired a private investigator that found EDP's apartment, his work, and his dialysis center. So on my birthday, they went to confront him.
After we realized
she was hoping to get a sting operation done. Keep that in mind. That's very important. She was hoping to get a sting operation done. That's very important. Keep that in mind.
That he wasn't going to drive to actually meet up with the girl, we set something up in Las Vegas, Nevada to try to confront him about what he had been doing online, messaging this girl. SUV that looks like him?
That's a Honda, bro. What is it? I think that might be him.
Oh my god, dear Lord, it's EDP. It's EDP in the flesh. I love you, bro.
And as I'm walking into the dialysis center, these motherfuckers pop out the goddamn van. Right then and there, I was like, give me Kayla's address because I'm about to hop in this car and I'm about to go blow this bitch's brains out.
He's texting me right now, so he told me, fuck you, bitch.
I don't give a fuck if you're a minor. I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, you know, she's just a girl. You can't be doing that shit. Bitch, you gotta die.
There's a demonic human being. Because the same thing that he said regarding CC Unit and Alex Rosen is the same thing that he says here. Why? Because he was once again outed and found out and again intercepted. So now you want to cause harm to her because other individuals now with larger platforms are aware of you continuing to do the same behavior. It's 2 years later now. You've went from 2021 to 2023. One's also got to consider there are potential situations to where maybe you were messaging minors and just those chats never came out. Because Cole Raven also had a multitude, if you will, of chat rooms in which you were speaking with underage girls, direct messages. It just so happened to be one of them that got publicized, and then number two here. And you're talking about, oh, well, I'm going to go and kill her because she outed me. You're fully aware. You're fully aware. Now, that being said, Gideon and Skeeter, we're going to touch on this right now.
He cussed me out. He told me to, I believe, he told me to kiss his ass.
2 years ago, you were caught. Kiss my ass.
And the whole meetup was underwhelming, you know? Like, he just went inside.
Brian, it's disappointing. He said 2 words and then he walked right in.
Basically, what's going through my mind, don't say a fucking word.
We really do just want to have just a civil conversation.
They ain't got shit on you. As long as you don't say a word, you good to go.
Bryant, Bryant. Don't be like this, Bryant. I just have a few questions.
It's an embarrassing clown show. He says the same thing over and over again. The way this investigation, it's not really an investigation, but the way this was conducted makes it unprosecutable. And you've got Skeeter or Skeet or whatever his name is, who's clowning around, taking my lines, I suppose, and murdering them with a guy in a cupcake outfit. There's no serious attitude here. It's a clown show. And it resulted in nothing.
I think there possibly maybe could have been different results in this case if me and Gideon did not confront EDP or take the situation into our hands at all. That's a hard maybe though, and you know, that way obviously there's no content there, so it's like,
Full stop. Like I said previously, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Gideon, Skeeter, people who make this kind of content to go and catch predators aren't trying to get the predators off the streets. However, I question their motivation because he just said out of his own mouth, well, you know, if we went through a more professional kind of manner, would it have gotten done? But there's no content there. What's the purpose? Is it to catch the predators, or is it to make a spectacle of catching the predators? Now, after this, there is a valid criticism that's levied towards Chris Hansen and the Catch the Predator show, because there was a ton of sensationalism in how they played it up there for the cameras without question whatsoever. Valid criticism. However, to say, yeah, but there's not too much content that's there. What was the intention? You couldn't set up the sting the way you wanted it to be set up because EDP ended up backing out and blocking the girl. then proceeded to go and unblock her because she said on the phone, they're texting right now. That was said on the phone as they were on the phone saying they're texting with EDP right now, in which he threatened to go and kill her. You pull up on this dude dressed in a cupcake? With a professional Raw Dogger shirt? Other man's, I can't say he's cosplaying as Chris Hansen, albeit that's what they claim his content is about. I mean, you just wearing a suit, right? It's not as if this is Chris Hansen's famous suit or something. You just wearing a suit. But y'all pulled up to intercept the man at dialysis, at that. If you wanted to do it the right way, you would have continued to push for him to go and meet up with the girl. Nonetheless, they completely botched the entire thing, but you didn't take this serious at all. It was all for content. And for the way that it's framed and how it appears, I question if you even really cared about what it was that he was doing or what he was messaging to the girl. Because this calls into question everything from putting together the chat room to continuing to encourage, because remember, she still said everybody, so who are these everybody? To encourage her to continue to go and reach out to EDP. Was this supposed to be the original plan? Because what's the probability of you just having a cupcake costume just sitting around? What's the probability? Incredibly low. You went out of your way to go and do this. Let's continue.
What is your opinion on Skeeter Gene?
I don't know Skeeter Gene. He reached out to me some time ago to collaborate, and it's not something I would ever do.
Why not?
Because I don't need to. I mean, I don't need to create a clown show with somebody who is merely seeking to get fame and clicks and views on YouTube. I have my own team, my own way of doing things, and it produces justice. The rest of these clowns, they're out there goofing around.
Yeah, it did definitely change my opinion on him a bit because I think he was a bit hypocritical with a statement that he made. He said that I was just doing this for clicks, views, and ad revenue, basically. I mean, are you telling me that he's not doing it for the same reasons? I would really like to ask Chris Hansen that if he weren't being paid for his work, would he still do it?
Now, if you were to say, if he wasn't being paid, would he still do it? Valid criticism. Valid criticism. However, that being stated, let's also acknowledge Catch a Predator was indeed on television, sensationalized, made Chris a star, made him a ton of money. Yes. That being said, it wasn't framed in this humorous kind of gotcha manner. I will say some of the dialogue certainly was there for an element of laughs to a degree. However, he was simply reading said chat log. Maybe he may have changed the inflection in his voice. Oh, where you're saying you were coming to meet a 13-year-old girl and you were going to give her your dick. Did you say that? 110%. You can criticize the inflection that he did have on his voice throughout numerous different times in which he caught a bunch of different people. I remember I was in comment sections left and right of To Catch a Predator videos over the course of the past 10 years on YouTube. I remember when they caught Lorne. I remember when they cornered a number of different people. In fact, I think on 2 occasions, but for certainly one. I think it might have only been one, but maybe 2 different occasions where there was one individual predator who got cornered and took his own life as well, right? All of that being said, the intention wasn't to clown and embarrass whoever the predator just so happened to be. It's primarily been, we're going to corner you, we're going to expose you, and we're going to go and get you arrested, right? Albeit, Chris Hansen's team didn't always do the best job. There was elements of entrapment where there was a lot of different times in which they led, you know, certain individuals on, but albeit those criminals, those predators certainly knew what they were doing as well. He didn't present himself as somewhat of a clown show. I'm pulling up in a cupcake costume. We're talking about two completely different things. Now, you can levy the allegation of, well, would you do it for free? But ultimately, call a spade a spade. We live in an incredibly capitalistic country. I'm not going to excuse this whatsoever. But if I can do what I would consider to be my life's passion and I can monetize it, why wouldn't I? Doesn't mean I have to present myself as somewhat of a joke. Let's continue.
If it was legal, would you have had sex with Kayla Hoskins?
If it was legal, oh, I would have fucking turned that ass out. I would have fucking ate her ass out, my nigga, and made a funnel cake about her shit. You know what I mean?
I feel like I was a victim of EDP, but I think I was mainly a victim, this is gonna sound crazy, but mainly a victim of Gideon, in a way. I feel like for a long time I was his like little puppet.
Why
In what way were you his puppet?
I feel like I was his puppet because I was just like kind of doing the things he demanded me to do.
Demanded?
I feel like I am a victim of Gideon because he encouraged me to keep talking to a pedophile.
Encouraged. This now puts a name to the allegation and claim of who she said was encouraging her. She said encourage on 5 different occasions. And now she says, oh, well, Gideon was encouraging her to continue. Remember, she said Gideon created a chat room to where it was a bunch of children, and she said EDP had messaged her. So that calls into question, hey, did Gideon now approach you and say, continue to go and message EDP and continue to keep this going? She mentioned on numerous different occasions that she was uncomfortable with communication with EDP. And she's claiming that Gideon demanded that she continue. Very serious allegation. Continue.
Every single time we would talk to her, I would ask her if she's okay.
Are you sure you're good? Like, I want to make sure you're okay, because I know, like, this could be really, really... Are you sure you're good?
She was like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. I want to get him arrested. I want to get him arrested.
I told Gideon every single time that EDP would send me dick pics, but he would never tell me to, like, block him or anything.
I want you to block him on your phone, right?
But we would tell her, if you're going to keep on talking to him, don't talk sexual, and please don't send any explicit photos.
No, I did not send EDP any pictures of me that were nude. What did happen when he asked me for them was that Gideon got like a lookalike of me, and I kind of photoshopped her face into Google pictures.
Very interesting you use the term here. Let's just go back. I just want you to listen to this again.
To him, don't talk
pics, but he would never Gideon every single time that EDP
him arrested.
I told Gideon every single time that EDP would send me dick pics.
So she claims she told Gideon every time EDP sent something sexually explicit. So if you guys remember my earlier question regarding where's the parent and guardian and adult and that chain of communication with the child. Furthermore, I'm glad somebody brought it up in the chat room as well. When Chris Hansen was running and doing To Catch a Predator, every single time they had somebody pose as a child, it was an adult that was doing it. You didn't have actual children doing it. She was 15. communicating with EDP. You had a legitimate child communicating with this predator, right? Predator, because he hasn't been brought into custody, right? Hasn't been officially charged with said crime. So, air quotation. She says she let Gideon know every single time. If in the event that is true, that is a crime on EDP's side for sending sexually explicit content to a minor. If she were to then go and take a photo to go and send it, that's now CP being sent to EDP.
But he would never tell me to like block him or anything.
I want you to block him on your phone, right?
But we were
recorded call where he's telling her to go and block it. Now, this makes you wonder how many of these calls were recorded. I would hope all of them, to where if he wanted to go and say, hey, you're saying this, I'm saying this, if you have validity that you did not, or I should say, you did tell her to go and block him once the images started coming in, you can cover your tracks. You have him here on video. Now, if only it wasn't an avatar of his actual face, but I can understand why. Saying, hey, go ahead and block him. This gives him a bit of omission. But again, why are you using actual children in this situation? You could have had an adult posing as a child. But you have a legitimate child that's going forth with this. The moment that the sexually explicit imagery was going sent to the kid, contact should have happened to the authorities. Why didn't it? Because we still, now he's claimed they hired a private investigator, all this other stuff. Where was the fucking police in this entire situation? Let's continue.
Tell her, if you're gonna keep on talking to him, don't talk sexual, and please don't send any explicit photos.
No, I did not send EDP any pictures of me that were nude. What did happen when he asked me for them was that Gideon got like a lookalike of me, and I kind of photoshopped her face into Google pictures.
And she told me something about like her like looking up like something in photoshopping, and I was like, okay, no, like do not do that. To my knowledge, I never knew that she actually sent anything because I never seen any images of that, but she sent something explicit.
Yeah, Kayla Hoskins actually sent me a picture of her tit. You know, she didn't Photoshop a goddamn thing. She literally sent me fucking nudes of her fucking tits. I feel like she's a fucking scam artist. I feel like she's a bitch. I feel like she's very stuck up. She's very conniving.
I don't give a fuck what EDP got to say right there, regardless. It don't matter how the fuck you feel about it. You were fully aware that was a 15-year-old child sending you now what would be constituted as CP 110%, and that's child pornography. 110% a crime, right? Here's the issue. She claims Gideon found a look-alike, sent it to her, and then she photoshopped her face onto it. That is an incredibly serious allegation. Because for one, to find a lookalike, it's not, oh, well, let me just find a lookalike in an adult who looks like this child. You have to find an adult who looks like the child doing something sexual to where it would be substantial for you now sending it to EDP. Furthermore, if it was a titty pic, that requires the breast to be exposed. So in your mind, not only do you have to find a nude, you have to find a nude that looks like this child to go and send an explicit photo to a child to then go and Photoshop. Gideon claims he never did anything of the sort. On her end, either A, according to EDP claiming that he had received said pic, you would have had to either took said photo and sent it, or B, you yourself then went looking for a doppelganger, that you can now edit your face onto. I question the validity of her claims because it just doesn't sound like that would make a lot of sense. Let me go and Google, find a doppelganger, then go and send that over to me. Then I'll go and Photoshop. Why would you go through all of these different sort of steps to go and try to go send a response photo back? Furthermore, you did mention that you felt as if you were encouraged by Gideon and a number of other individuals to continue to move forward. So that would add a bit of validity to the claim, claiming that, well, maybe he was pushing for you to continue to go forward. But you also have Gideon saying on camera of a recorded call, hey, go and block him. Now, albeit we don't know the time frame of when that go and block him message just so happened to happen. It could have happened towards the tail end when everything was kind of falling apart after the private investigator and then, him ultimately blocking her, whatever the case is, right? But then how would he block her if he was already, blocked? Or I should say, how would she block him if he already had blocked her? All that being said, I call into question the validity of everybody's statements here. In the case of EDP, why would I believe that she ultimately ended up sending something sexually explicit? Because this is a pathological liar, and furthermore, a predator in and of itself. He's going to say anything to try to go and cover his tracks. In the case of Gideon, him trying to go and protect himself, you did have recorded calls that's there, so potentially maybe you didn't go and say anything, but I'm still curious as to why there was no chain of command, not from you for the child, but from you to her parents, and furthermore, where were the parents, and why did you use an actual child to even go forth with this investigation? Sting operation. And in the case of the kid, why was there no communication to your parents and or any sort of adults in the midst of this entire situation? And only thing that you're doing is communicating with the YouTube. Make that make sense. In this situation, everybody's guilty. Now, I know some people like to levy, or I shouldn't say levy, some people like to give some sort of they would give a white towel, if you will, to the child because they're a minor in this situation. But oh no. Why was there no communication to a parent and or guardian? You continued to move forward with all of it. Now, albeit you're still a minor, so all of the blame doesn't fall on your shoulders. However, you claimed you were uncomfortable, all this other. Why is there no mention of why you didn't go to the police, why you didn't go to any sort of adult, anything of that nature? Let's keep a spade a spade. I recognize children are children. I am not, by any estimation, to make it seem as if that's not the case. I am in no situation claiming as if the minor is fully responsible for what transpired. But we were all kids before, were we not? We were all kids before. You may not have been fully aware of, where it was that this entire thing was going, but you already claimed that you was uncomfortable. If Gideon was making you uncomfortable, why the fuck didn't you go talk to your parents? Where are your parents? And still, up until this point, there is no mention of the parents whatsoever. Where the fuck are the parents? I'd blame the parents more than I blame the child. 110%. 110%. And she said the message took place in June, so it was at the tail end of the school year, if not during the summertime. So obviously you're not in school, so you can't necessarily go, to a parent, a dean, a counselor, something of that nature. But where are the parents? Because it's not as if Shorty's framed as homeless. You probably in a crib. Who's the adult you staying with? It's not Gideon. It's not Skeeter. Not Chris Hansen. Not EDP. Thank God. Let's continue.
So I'd like to let the viewers know that I don't know what they're gonna say, but don't believe it. Because I have proof. I'm just too scared to show the proof because Gideon has a big audience, and I don't want them to attack me. But I could show some of the proof. Proof of him.
This is very important. This is very important right here. This is very important right here, right? Because she said, well, she's afraid he has a large audience, right?
She's very stuck up. She's very conniving.
So I'd like to let the viewers know that I don't know what they're gonna say, but don't believe it. Because I have proof. I'm just too scared to show the proof because Gideon has a big audience, and I don't want them to attack me. But I could show some of the proof.
What would create a buffer for you being attacked if you went to law enforcement? So what do you do in this situation? Let's just keep it, call a spade a spade. Now, albeit I understand children in this, you know, this scenario, you have somebody who has a massive millions upon millions of followers and subscribers. I can understand why there would be a fear element that exists over there. But you also agreed to sit down for a documentary. And you may not understand the weight of you sitting down and what that means, and furthermore, having your face and everything that's out there. You may not understand it because at this particular point, she probably, what, 16, 17? And then ultimately by this point in 2026, she's 18 now. You could have went to the authorities. Could you not have? Still, no mention of your parents whatsoever. Seems like a cop-out to me. Now let's look at these additional claims.
Proof of him kind of...
Gideon is a scam artist. He's being
Maybe
controlled by the
she's
Illuminati.
sort of
What's the relevancy of that? Gideon is friends with multiple pedophiles. EDP is under investigation by the Department of Justice. She's claiming that there's these are her claims. It's not as if something else is going on. These are her claims from her mouth, allegedly. Right? Has a computer full of C-SPAM.
The whole
owns
situation
illegal
as
firearms.
Leverage.
Has been victimizing another teen for a year. That one I could probably go and believe. Here's a big one. Gideon lied to Kayla's mom about the use of a decoy. This is the first mention of a parent, and it's in text form. That is a hell of an allegation. That is a hell of an allegation. Lied? So if there was communication to the parent, why is the parent not here with you? That'd be more towards a question to Mike. I don't know if you're still in the chat room here. That'd be more of a question towards Mike. But that's a hell of an allegation to wait. Well, yeah, you know, he lied to my mother. Oh, so there was communication with the mother. That's interesting. EDP is being investigated for drug crimes.
Boost her
Currently
music
victimizing another minor. That's another, mention of a minor. Gideon's friends cause EDP's victims to lose their
career
jobs.
and such. So,
Jobs? Well, I guess you work as a child, so there's that as well.
Yeah, while
FaZe
she...
Rug didn't intervene to stop Kayla from messaging EDP. FaZe Rug. FaZe Rug is another YouTuber. FaZe Rug didn't intervene to stop Kayla from messaging EDP. Well, if he didn't intervene, that would mean that he's aware. Because why would you implicate him? So was he also part of the everybody? Because remember, she said, I didn't want to let everybody down, and everybody was encouraged. Everybody. So now that brings in Gideon, Skeeter, and now FaZe Rug. This is all her allegations. But she now brought them in there, right? Gideon refused to let Kayla go to the police before the content was captured. So there was no going to the police because he wanted the content to be captured first. Interesting. Skeeter Jean and Gideon attempted to taint evidence. Gideon uses Christianity to cover his tracks. There was a period of time in which he said he was going fully Christian, right? Gideon quit YouTube because of the EDP situation. There's some validity in that because he did mention, Gideon did say his channel was under attack because of the strikes that came in towards the channel, and everybody who had the video, myself included, on his, attempt of a sting operation at the dialysis center, they started to go and get struck down. Gideon hates Jake Paul. The fuck does that have to do with anything? But I'm gonna let it play again because there was some speaking, some dialogue narration in the background as these claims was going, just to listen to it.
Proof of him kind of encouraging it. Proof of him.
Maybe she's sort of using the whole situation as leverage to boost her music career and such. So, again, while she's technically, she's a victim, I think she's kind of using the whole situation as leverage to gain followers a little bit.
Now, me personally, am I an opportunist? Yes, I am. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're not harming anybody. And I don't think I was harming anybody. And especially when you're my age, if you're 16, people are going to think that you're young and dumb. So you kind of have to be an opportunist. You have to make your own opportunities. You cannot be waiting for them. But this entire situation was not that at all.
So you committed another crime.
And if when you're my not harming any, yes.
Just
a little bit.
Now,
First off, before we even get there, Skeeter Jean is speaking in the background.
Leverage to boost her music career. And
leverage to boost her music career. This is the first that we're hearing regarding what her ambition may be. Remember, earlier on, if you guys remember, what did I tell you when she came on screen and it was found out that EDP had blocked her? What did they say? What did she say before, or I should say during, the interception at the dialysis center? She was hoping there would be a sting operation. I found that to be very interesting. Now, she never once mentioned music. Skeeter Jean says,
maybe she's sort of using the whole situation as leverage to boost her music career and such. So, you know, again, while she's a victim, I think she's kind of using the whole situation as leverage to gain followers a little bit.
Now,
this would ultimately give you the validation or confirm why she would have her own ambition behind going through with this. Because as we've all heard at one particular point, all publicity is good publicity. I'm not saying that's the intention that she potentially messed around and had, but I found that very interesting that she would say, man, I was really hoping for a sting operation, despite the fact that she said she was incredibly uncomfortable the entire time. Furthermore, there's no reason why you should have a legitimate child that is actually participating in this entire situation. But she has a bludgeoning music career. Interesting. Let's hear what she has to say.
Oh, me personally, am I an opportunist? Yes, I am. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're not harming anybody. And I don't think I was harming anybody.
You don't think you were harming anybody? You don't think you were harming anybody by participating in this back and forth with EDP? You didn't think you were harming anybody. Also, given your participation and mentioning the names of Skeeter, Gideon, implicating FaZe Rug, you don't think folks would have blowback from those claims? Furthermore, she, from her own volition, said Gideon sent her a photo of a doppelganger and somebody who looks like her so that she can then go and Photoshop. These are her words, not Gideon's. Her words. He sent her a photo of a nude lady that looks like her that she would then edit and then go and send to EDP. You don't think anybody would get hurt? What about the girl who you claim you photoshopped? What about the individuals who you messed around and implicated? Now, albeit you're a child, maybe you don't understand, right? But I find that very interesting.
And especially when you're my age, if you're 16, people are going to think that you're young and dumb. So you kind of have to be an opportunist. You have to make your own opportunities. You cannot be waiting for them. But this entire situation was not that at all.
Sounds like you had different ambitions. So what if this situation wasn't that, then what was it? You have to make opportunity. Make opportunity for what? Make opportunity to take down a predator, or make opportunity to try to get more visibility for yourself? That calls into question what your entire ambition of this entire thing happened to be. What do you mean? What do you mean? Make opportunity for yourself. What do you mean? Ma'am, you're in a documentary of a child predator, child abuser. What opportunity?
So you committed another crime, you got caught, but yet got lucky again.
Yeah, it's a crime. Got lucky again. Me personally, I feel like the reason why they didn't do anything is because I feel like, you know, God sees all, right? He sees he sees my mistakes. Obviously, I've been punished by him. Others have been punished by him and stuff. I feel like he saw Kayla and Gideon's master plan, and so therefore he intervened and saved my ass once the fuck again. You know what I mean? And I'm beyond grateful for that. You know.
So God saved you from going to jail.
Yes. God saved me from going to jail.
He said the reason he didn't go to jail the second time is because God was watching over him.
What do you think about that?
That wasn't no God watching over him, bro. That's Satan.
This was an absolute outrageous statement. What God? Because I can promise you that's not the God I serve. That is not the God that you serve. This man, on more than one occasion, messaging a minor, and you've got the audacity to marry the unmitigated goal to fix your lips to say God was looking over you and prevented you from being indicted, apprehended, incarcerated? Are you out of your mind? Do you hear yourself? Continue.
Jake, I might need that water, bro. Yeah, sorry about that, man.
How are things with your health?
How are things with my health? Well, in 2022, I was working security at a dispensary, and I started itching uncontrollably. I was starting to, like, you know, spit up black shit. When I went to go fucking beat my shit, red fucking cum was coming out of my fucking cock and shit, which I knew wasn't, you know, fucking healthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's never healthy. And I got diagnosed with end-stage kidney failure, which is like stage 5. If I were to miss a treatment, the chances of me dying would be about like maybe like 65 to 70%. So I can't miss a treatment ever. You know what I mean? So health issues have been a major issue. I tell them all the time, they're all like, oh, well, you know, your fluid intake is off the fucking charts. You need to start eating healthier, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking like, listen, bitch, I'm over here fucking grinding this shit out with 2 jobs, working 20-hour fucking days. And I'd be lying to you if I told you, oh, yeah, I'm about to go eat a beautiful ass Greek salad. Like, no, bitch, there ain't no fucking Greek salads out there. It's like motherfuckers is eating hot dogs and burgers and shit, you know what I mean? Because that's what's convenient for you, you know?
I'm not even mad. Because I'm glad he doing it. I'm glad he doing it. You get what you deserve. Undisciplined. And he got the audacity to have the discipline, you know, poster up on his doggone walls. But I'm glad he doing it. Because you already told what the fuck you were supposed to do, and you sat here making excuse after excuse after excuse. If you've got time to buy junk food, you got time to buy healthy food. Albeit, is it more expensive? Absolutely. But what matters? We've all had situations where we had a bunch of different problems. Everybody got problems, so they got a health problem. Then the only problem you got is a health problem. And dialysis can only help for so long. Mind you, I lost my brother to kidney failure. And like I said at the beginning of my breakdown of all this, the fact that this motherfucker is still walking around and he's not pisses me the fuck off.
And that's the thing that really just frustrates the fuck out of me sometimes, because they paint these unrealistic ass expectations on me, you know? So for example, today is what, Friday? If I miss this appointment, I'll probably be dead by Monday. That's how bad it is. Oh, well, you're supposed to eat better. Motherfucker, I can't meal prep for 20 hours. I'm not even at fucking home most of the damn time. So it's like, am I supposed to sit in this fucking car and starve, nigga, for like, come on, bitch. It's fucking unrealistic as fuck, you know?
The premise of the documentary is not the food that he goes and consumes. That being said, there's literally, you have HelloFresh, but you have to prepare the food there. Factor, the food already shows up prepared. There's several different companies that have food that's already prepared, albeit, again, you're spending a bit more money. Maybe that requires you having to go find a microwave to go and heat food up. The same way you can go and find a Burger King, a McDonald's, all this other stuff. You can find a Cava, you can find a Chipotle, you can find a Just Salad, you can find all these other places and go find ways to go and consume the food to where it's not excessive and unhealthy. You have the capabilities to do so. You were on the internet and made yourself a name on the internet for 11 years before you ultimately went and lost the channel. You're capable of being able to utilize Google and find different places. You're just unwilling to. So I don't want to hear your excuses.
I know this is kind of a reckless way to live life, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what, nigga, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? I'm tired of like, one thing I'm not going to do, you feel me, is live my life in fear. You can't. Like, I can't. If I lived my life in fear, I wouldn't be making this fucking documentary. We wouldn't be making this documentary, you know what I mean? You know, and that's the issue. A lot of people, they expect you to live your life in fear, especially with everything that's going on and, you know, getting told this shit, you know. Had a few people blowing me the fuck up. Oh, how could you do it? How could you get caught again? You know, all that bullshit, right? And I knew right then and there, it's time to stop running from this shit. It's time to start taking accountability, start owning up to it. Let's go to therapy and let's try to get help for this situation, because obviously something isn't right.
What in your words isn't right?
At that point in time, it's not right to have a sexual attraction to minors.
So he's already acknowledged, again, he's acknowledged that he has a sexual attraction to minors. You have to keep that in mind. Throughout this entire time, he's berated the youth. He's tried to find excuse after excuse. But here he is acknowledging that he has an he's attracted to minors. Keep that in mind.
My name is Kara. I am a marriage and family therapist. I work with adults, couples, and families. Bryant is my client, and I've been working with him individually. For Bryant, when Bryant came in, you know, the first thing that we got through was just getting to know him. I needed to learn about his history. I needed to learn what he went through, his perspective on it. Whether people agree or disagree, he has his perspective on it, and it's my job to understand that perspective.
I go to therapy, first overall session. I tell my therapist, listen, I was involved in sexting and talking to underage minors. Obviously, I'm aware that this is wrong. This is a fucking crime. And I would like for you guys to help me.
So, you know, we discussed what happened. We discussed his feelings about what happened. The shame, guilt associated with something like that. And then we dig into motivations. And once we've discovered motivations, we've dug into, okay, well, why are those motivations attractive to you? What is it about it? But he has been very honest with me about a reason, and we've connected it to something that he really needs to work on and explore. But I feel strongly that it's his job to say why to the world. Alrighty, so how are we feeling when it comes to accountability?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the thing is like when, particularly in like whole like sexting minors and all that bullshit, right? You in the back of your head, you know it's wrong. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like that sense of doubt where it's like, you know what, maybe this shit could be real. That's the part that ends up fucking you in the end, you know what I mean?
Real, do you mean you wanted more, did you want a relationship?
Yeah, basically, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
It turned into something legitimate?
yeah, like the whole... If you heard the way she was talking to me on the phone, you would be like, oh shit, like, you know, finally has a girlfriend. Oh, wait, hold up.
She said finally has a girlfriend. So you were kind of feeling like I might finally have something.
Correct. Correct.
Romantic. So what was it like to find out? I would say that none of us can predict the future. I would like to believe that he would not do it again. What I can say is that we're not suggesting that he quit therapy anytime soon.
And he left immediately. He sat there and he said, yeah, you know what the fucked up part is? You know, when you recognize what you're doing isn't right. You know, it's in the back of your head. But you also in the back of the head, it's like, man, I believe this could be real. So you're searching for that acknowledgement, and furthermore, you're searching for the connection because we utilized the word finally, and she pointed it out as well. Finally, where does that stem from? You desire a companion. Buy a fucking dog. Don't go and groom a child. You wanted physical connection. Why don't you try to go and find a woman instead of trying to go and find a child? You then say, man, if you heard the way she was talking to me, again, trying to find a justification for his actions. And 110%, that's probably why he messed around and left therapy. Because all of the fingers kept pointing back at him. We'll continue.
In a way, I'm kind of glad that this whole incident did happen because it got me to understand and to realize who my true friends are.
So you're telling me you go through this entire scenario and the biggest lesson that you've been able to go and conjure up from it was, man, now I know who my real friends are. Not, yo, I got a problem that requires fixing. Yo, I might just be a shit human being. Yo, it's not the world that's against me. Maybe it's me against myself. Nah, it's, I gotta know who my real friends are. Lock his friend up too.
You know?
Friends are loyal, friends are kind. Friends are always on your mind. When I'm with my friends, I'm feeling fine.
Name's Jimmy. Well, James, go by Jimmy. Been a friend of Bryant's since technically middle school, into high school, and into adulthood. Never a dull moment being friends with EDP. There's always some kind of funny shit going on. I mean, it's just one of the coolest cats I know.
I love my friends.
I would say EDP is completely innocent. Basically, he was just set up on some bullshit. I mean, we've all texted back somebody we had no business texting back.
I just want you to think the level of incredible stupidity it takes to say some shit like that. The level of idiocracy. Yeah, yo, we've been cool since middle school. Okay, great. There's a level of loyalty that you may feel because of the bond that you had from when you were children. However, despite the fact that you can view this person still somewhat childlike because that's how you met, doesn't mean they're that same person when you're an adult. Furthermore, to then fix your lips to say, I feel he's completely innocent. He was set up. We've all texted somebody back that we weren't supposed to. What do you mean by that? Because EDP himself has acknowledged what it was that he did. You haven't? That makes me wonder if you have some skeletons in your closet that perhaps have to be brought forward. What are you talking about? Man's already verbalized his intention was to smash a 13-year-old. His hopes was to engage in coital affairs with a 15-year-old. His intention to eliminate 5 grown adults, the 3 or potentially 4, I don't know how many cameramen there was for the CC unit and Alex Rose. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it was 2 additional cameramen, because I remember there was one that was in the shot, 1 for CC unit, 1 for Alex Rose. So that's 4 individuals he threatened to go and murder. The 15-year-old girl, that's 5. Gideon and Skeeter, that's 6 and 7. All of these, you're his friend. You're aware of this, because there's no scenario where you would be unaware of what your friend was doing after the news broke of what transpired in 2021. Before then, a lot of this could have easily been shielded. Maybe you never saw it, out of sight, out of mind. There's no scenario you're not aware of what was transpiring. You've known each other since middle school. If you're the last friend, you expect me to believe that he's not venting to you? You expect me to believe that he's not sharing intimate information regarding his situation with you? You're the only friend that he has, outside of the children, of course. And you're going to sit here and fix your lips to say he's completely innocent. Somebody ought to hit you over the head with a frying pan, sir. Because what the fuck are you talking about?
EDP is not a pedophile. He's never been a pedophile. He doesn't look at children in that way, or young people in that way. I have 2 children. I would let both my children be around EDP, even if they were alone.
CPS should confiscate his children expeditiously. Full custody to the mother immediately. If the mother happens to not be in the picture to where she can have full custody, give the children to somebody who wanted children, and not even fuck the relatives. At this point, take them out of his family. You are out of your mind. Furthermore, that's a little girl. Given what we've already saw with EDP, fast forward 10 years, because that kid looks maybe what, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe? You're introducing a child to stay over with a man who's messaged children, and that's been posted publicly onto the internet, so much so to where he himself out of his own mouth has admitted that he did so. And you want some, yeah, I would leave my kids with him unsupervised. You're out of your mind. Castrate that man. Under no circumstance should you be able.
My favorite way to play with kids is to just to joke around and tickle them. You know what I mean? Make them laugh. Give them fart bubbles, I guess. Well, they call it raspberries. It's like if you hold up the kid's stomach and if you like that, you know what I mean? Some of the things I like to do when playing with kids is like I like to sidewalk slam them up on the couch, power slam them up on the couch. Hell, sometimes if I'm crazy as fuck enough, I'll jump off the goddamn wall unit and do a Shawn Michaels elbow drop on the motherfuckers. Yeah, I just enjoy like wrestling with them and being goofy, you know. Have they started teaching you guys about the solar system? You're like, what the fuck is that, right? All 9 planets actually spin around the sun. To anybody who thinks that it's weird for me to play and like being around kids, you guys can lick my ass and suck my fucking balls. You guys can go fuck yourself, in other words. Sorry about that.
Before we even get into that, that is crazy. Now, albeit, there was supervision that just so happened to be there. Right now, my only concern would be, because they did
About
say
the
this
solar
was
system
a
and being
parental
goofy, you know?
supervision. If it was just the father
Have they
that
started
was there,
teaching you
I
guys
don't
about
think
the
that was
solar
good
system?
enough. Because the father, who happens to be a friend, evidently would be 110% open to EDP just being there with the kids by themselves. Now, albeit the camera crew being there as well. If EDP tried anything, camera crew happens to be there, they would most likely go and step in, I would hope. That being said, this is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Because it makes me wonder if A, this babysitting transpired because, yeah, that's his friend's kid. If this babysitting happened because, well, they just needed it for the doc, or if this is something that regularly happens. Because guess what? If the cameras wasn't here, he's probably watching them kids by himself. Now, albeit prepubescent children, there hasn't been any sort of evidence that EDP happens to find himself attracted to them, right? Nonetheless, you shouldn't be around no doggone kids. So I'm very curious of the thought process and the mental bandwidth of his friend to allow some shit like this.
With my ass.
Now let's fast forward to YouTube.
Tramp, slut, hermaphrodite. Bitches, hoe, tramp, slut, hermaphrodites, transvestites, you know what I mean? Basically, they would get their motherfucking ass beat. This is my certified bitch list, EDP certified bitch list. Let's get on into the first one. Penguin Zero. This motherfucker's a goddamn disgrace to fucking humankind. It looked like this motherfucker ain't washed his ass. Hi, everybody. Go suck a dick, bitch. Next up, we got Keemstar. His content sucks ass, has no fucking talent, just a fucking lowlife. Oh, let's see here. The next fucking Mudahar. Get off my fucking nuts before I piss on your face on some R. Kelly shit, okay? Hassan Piker, your typical fucking liberal, far left, goddamn socialist. Next up, we got Asmongold. Look like he saw a fucking ghost. Matter of fact, fuck a ghost, nigga. What you need to see is a goddamn cleaning service, my nigga, to clean that dirty ass, junky ass motherfucking house, bro. Aiden Ross, typical bitch, Jufro, toss his motherfucking ass up in the goddamn ashtray, nigga, with the rest of his fucking ancestors. Fuck him. These hoes right the fuck here are the exact reason why this world is fucked and men disrespect the living shit out of fucking women. XQC. Bitch, speak the fuck up. I always thought this guy was a bitch. We got Destiny. Probably gets fucking pine cones and tubas rammed up his fucking ass. Oompaville. That's how I feel about him. Ethan Klein. I think his wife, his girlfriend, whoever the fuck it is, I think she's very beautiful. I think she could do way better than this motherfucking loser. Listen, man, you need to come on up over my house and I can give your ass some real good fucking dick instead of fucking with this punk ass nigga. And that wraps up my certified bitches of YouTube.
How would you?
First and foremost, I feel like I should have been included in that group for the people who he hates. But it's all right. That's neither here nor there. Secondly, you're in no position to go and speak. For one, I think Mike and his team probably provided him these clothes, because I don't think EDP is somebody who would happen to have those clothes in his closet. That being said, I'm very curious, who was the seamstress that they employed to create the shirt and pants on him? Because under no circumstances are they selling sizes or clothes that large. They had to make the clothes on his body. So I would like to formally apologize to them for having to endure a terrible sight of seeing this man naked. Even with underwear on, it is still an unfortunate sight to see. So that's incredibly unfortunate. And I know he stink. But let's move on.
Gets fucking coffees monopoly. That wraps my certified bitches of YouTube.
How would you describe your sex life?
Oh, my sex life is fucking great. Let me see. I sit on this piece of couch right here. I whip my dick out, I jack off, and that's my sex life. As far as me actually fucking bitches, Shit, I only had sex once in my life, and it felt like I was fucking a Brillo pad. My fucking dick is still sore from that shit.
Who the fuck were you fucking? And remember, he said at the time of his creation of his YouTube account, he was still a virgin. I recall passingly where he had said that he may have had a girlfriend in the past and engaged in coital affair. Makes me wonder what the hell she had going on. Because a Brillo pad? A Brillo pad. Now, throughout my experience engaging in coital affairs, horizontal activity, carnal knowledge, I've never once had an experience in which I could say it felt like a Brillo pad. I don't know who he may have done horizontal activity with, if even possible. A Brillo pad? He must have paid that $40. Must have been a streetwalker. And even still makes me wonder, what kind of sentient being would give you that kind of feeling? Must have been a homunculus. Involuntarily celibate, an incel.
So the thing is like, I've been looking for a girlfriend for almost 5 to 6 years. It's been a while. It's been a journey. I'm the type of person that I know what the hell that I want. I'm not going to sit back and, settle for less or take fucking crumbs off the goddamn table. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, there's this chick, right? She bad as hell. She's cute. She loves you. She likes you. But she has 3 kids. Nah, I'm good, bro. Fuck that. I ain't even going to try to fucking deal with that fucking shit. I know that's a fucking nightmare. I more so like Facebook dating as opposed to other apps like fucking Bumble. I don't fuck with Grindr because I'm not fucking gay.
Just want to point this out, and it's going to show its head again in the doc. But if somebody were to question you regarding dating apps, right? If you're heterosexual, why would you bring up a homosexual app? Why? Who brings that up? That makes no sense. Who mentioned Grindr? Mind you, listen to the presentation of it.
I more so like Facebook dating as opposed to other apps like fucking Bumble. I don't fuck with Grindr because I'm not fucking gay.
Why'd you bring that up?
I definitely think being gay is a fucking mental disorder. Nigga, there's something wrong with you. There's a few screws loose in your motherfucking head. I don't know why people are gay. I really fucking don't. Hey Mike, well, what you doing tonight? Nothing. All right, cool. You mind if I come over to your hotel room and eat your ass out? What type of fucking gay ass shit is that? No, fuck that. I ain't with that gay shit, my nigga. I'm straight as fuck. You feel me? Yeah, it's it's definitely a fucking mental disorder.
This chick ain't the motherfucking. Oh yeah, fuck this, man. This is this ratchet ass bitch. Yeah, fuck all that.
The zoom in on the feet is crazy. But you question the mental capacity of a homosexual, but you yourself are messaging minors. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Yeah, I think I think that's a mental illness, and he's so explicitly descriptive of everything. Bro, if you felt repulsed by homosexuals, why would you sit here and describe the most vile activity? Yeah, that they go and grab the KY jelly and then apply it, to their rectal sphincter, and then ultimately, reveal, the other Johnson of the one who's gonna be the one who's on top, and then proceeds to go and enter. You're sitting there being as descriptive as possible, bringing things up unprovoked. That makes me raise the eyebrow. Now, I've never been one of to believe in, oh, well, somebody who goes and brings something up, they say that because they're projecting and secretly happen to find themselves there. I always thought that was somewhat of a flawed argument, depending on the level in which it's utilized. But if it's brought up completely unprovoked, bro, they asked you dating apps, you mentioned Facebook dating, don't really utilize Bumble, and immediately go on a whole different tangent regarding homosexuals. The fuck did that come from? Where did that come from?
Look at the.
But I want y'all to keep track regarding his mention of Grindr and homosexuals.
Motherfucking duck lips, my nigga.
Now I will say this much: I think they should have Mike and his team. They should have blurred these ladies here on the dating app because they didn't need to be outed like that. They should have had these they should have had them blurred here.
Guess how many kids she have?
1, 2.
No, not even close.
3.
Not even close.
4.
Not even close.
5.
Not even close.
6.
You're almost there.
7.
No.
8.
She has 8 fucking kids, bro. Single mom to 8 motherfucking kids.
What?
First and foremost, that's crazy to even be out there dating like that. But before you could even get there, bro, you talk to kids. You over here talk about how she 8 kids. She got 8 kids. Single mother out here looking for love. Your dumb ass might be looking for the kids. Do Better Podcast. What's good? What's wrong with your dumb ass, fam? You in no place to sit over here and judge. You can't sit on no doggone high moral ground, make it seem as if you better than somebody. Who the fuck checking for you? You think the same, man? Hell no. I'm gonna go and swipe left here. You think they ain't looking at you like, oh no, pedophile, I'm swiping left. Child abuse, I'm swiping left. Fat ass piece of shit, I'm swiping left. Eagles fan, no, let's not get into the Eagles fan, but one way or another. You got no place to speak, son. Are you crazy?
What's wrong with 8 kids?
14 grams of
I thought you said you like to play with kids and shit.
then you sell it.
Looking for a man who knows how to properly treat a lady. Bitch, you didn't properly treat your fucking uterus, my nigga. Because your pussy is gauged the fuck open, man. Holy fuck, dude.
Look at this man, son.
Yeah, so right now, getting ready for work. A long ass fucking day, man. Had dialysis. I worked the night shifts. I've always been a night person. Man, where the fuck's my phone at, man? Get our ass up and go to fucking work, you know what I mean? Unlike you motherfuckers, I actually have a fucking job, actually do shit with my life. Well, I mean, the thing is, dude, it's like I know where Alex Rosen lives. I have his address. I know exactly where he lives.
Yeah.
I could have easily just loaded up a rifle, came and just murdered that nigga in cold blood. Could have fucked him up. You know what I mean?
Would you?
No, because I don't want to go to fucking prison, but I mean, I had some thoughts of doing that shit.
What if you could get away with it?
Oh, of course. Of course. These job sites where I work at, man, I could easily kill somebody, bury them, and get away with it, dude. Like, ain't shit out there, you know what I mean? Just fucking strap this fucking suppressor on, put 2 in your fucking chest, my nigga, throw some dirt up over your ass, and go on about my fucking day.
I know this might sound like a joke, but let's keep it 100% a beam. You think somebody who's able to go and eliminate another person by way of murder would be able to get away with it at that size? Show me the 400, 500-pound hitmen out here. Think this shit is a video game? Your big ass would be in cuffs before the body even cold. I ain't saying you probably can't, take the person out. You probably can mess around and do that. Ain't no way your big ass gonna get away with it. You kidding me? This brother is Planet 9. I said it in a video the other day regarding that large woman. This man might be Planet 9. Pluto got removed as a planet as of 2006. We've been on the hunt to locate Planet 9. It's already on Earth. Look at the size of him as if you was playing Assassin's Creed. The fuck your big ass fixing to do? I know where Alex Rosen lives. I could have been eliminated him. It's not hard to find you. I could spot you from New York and you in California. I look outside, there's EDP right there. It must be somewhat of the left hand of his body. He can fill the Grand Canyon right now. Drop his big ass from a goddamn crane. He gonna spread out across all 4 rims. And you gonna fix your lips to talk as if you some sort of a goddamn threat? Joe big ass. Let's continue.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, 8 grand, you know, 8K up in the bank, about what, 25K in debt, so about what, like 17K up in the hole.
Broke them off.
I'll pay you, bitch, when the fuck I can. That's the way I fucking see it, so fuck it.
And if you guys remember, he had said earlier on the stream, I shouldn't say on the stream, he said earlier in the doc, there was one particular point in which he had 170 some K in the account. Now you find yourself 25 grand in the hole, albeit medical expenses can be incredibly expensive, especially if you don't have appropriate coverage. When the unknown Adonis had gotten his kidney failure, diagnosis and things began, it literally happened 2 months after he turned 26. And if you're in America and you're aware of this, you lose access to your parents' coverage at 26. My plan during the pandemic in 2020, I was planning to go to every single doctor under the sun before I turned 26. The world shut down in March, and every single one of those appointments all got canceled and pushed forward, right? So then I had to start paying out of pocket. I found my way around to certain sort of things, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about EDP here. So maybe it's medical debt that may have put him in a hole, but you're not making enough money to pay off said debt. So he's probably eating crazy amounts of interest, but does this look like the face of somebody who gives a fuck? No. Probably not. But clearly he hasn't made the best financial decisions. We've seen him have an array of guns over the years as well. So if you need to make some bread, it's time to start parting with your possessions. In fact, if you guys go to Mike Clum's page, the creator of the documentary, he did a video on Boogie. I don't know what the numbers in his account, I should say the numbers of his username happens to be, but he made one of a previous YouTuber named Boogie who also had 3-4 some million, subscribers, and he's dead broke now and having to sell his collectibles and everything of that nature. EDP might come sometime to go and, part ways with your guns, sir, because I would assume that's your most expensive possessions. I don't think anybody's going to be willing to go and buy your jerseys, because who's buying a 7X jersey? You got bed sheets for sale masquerading as garments. Who's wearing that? Nobody. This brother got moo-moos that can cover a mobile home. EDP throws his shirt in the air. It might be an eclipse. Let's relax.
So pretty much, shit, my big ass is about to go hop up in the bed, you feel me? Let my titties hang out and call it a night.
Titties hang out is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I have dreams probably about maybe twice, sometimes even 3 times a week of me viciously killing people, viciously slaughtering people. I would cut motherfuckers' tongues out. I would fucking, I would put a hole up in the motherfucker's chest and I would throw him in a fucking in like a pit of fire. I had dreams about killing Gideon, killing Alex Rosen, Cold Raven, whoever the fuck you want to mention, Steve G or John, whatever the fuck his name is. Shit, I had a goddamn dream of waterboarding fucking Kayla's ass and washing all the makeup off and shit. You know what I mean? That was my torture method of get all that shit off and, maybe if I'm feeling generous, I might throw the bitch out the fucking window. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So when I'm looking for girls, I'm pretty much going to look for like a 3 or a 4. If I'm lucky, a fucking 5. Shit, but I don't think I'm that goddamn lucky. So about like a 3, 4. You know what I mean? Yeah, people always say that shit like, oh, there's somebody out there for everybody. Okay, cool, bitch. Well, I'm waiting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fucking years. Like, keep putting yourself out there, you keep getting fucking denied. It's like, what the fuck,
Some of my pictures, you know, me rock.
I just wanna run this back one more time. I'm gonna say something, then I'm gonna let it run.
3, 4, you know what I mean? Yeah, people always say that shit like, oh, there's somebody out there for everybody. Okay, cool, bitch. Well, I'm waiting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fucking years. Like, keep putting yourself out there, you keep getting fucking denied. It's like, what the fuck, you know? Some of my
So you put yourself out there for that long, you get denied, right? So for one, the idea of everybody having somebody that's out there, it's foolish, right? For one particular reason. The math just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to get into the whole soulmate and all this other stuff because I think that's also a flaw. You can create a soulmate. There's not one that was already appointed for you, because what's the probability that you would find this person on the same continent in the midst of 8 billion some people? You'd find this person on the same continent, confines of the same city, centralized within the same sort of town, depending on where it is that you found somebody, within the confines of the app, close proximity. I think it's a conversation for a different day. But for EDP's case, yeah, this, you know, man, I've been searching for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 some years. You know what? Damn, I couldn't find them. Let me go talk to kids. Are you dumb? I've been searching for so long, I just can't find my match. Let me pass by this high school. Perhaps they have one over. You have to remember what the documentary is about. Him on by his own volition said, hey, man, that 15-year-old boy, her body, woof, she had them big ass titties. That's his word. That's his word, not mine. That's his word. If you're searching and you can't find an adult who happens to go and like you back, you know what you keep doing? You look for an adult who does. Or perhaps you gotta have to keep doing what the fuck you've been doing. Can you dig it? So you're doing the Booker T every single night. Looking at your hand, 5 times, but it's not the WCW champion. It might be the Gooner Olympic champion. That might be your situation. I know that Jergens bill must have ran up crazy inside your crib. In fact, we'll find out why you $25,000 in debt. You probably spent about 17 grand on lotions throughout the years and baby oils. Diddy went into incarceration. Somehow the oils done found its way into your goddamn cabinet. Let's move forward.
Pictures, you know, me rocking the 1960 throwback at dialysis, out here rocking the Oakleys and shit, looking clean as fuck, you know what I mean? Out of all my matches, the one that I'm most interested in is, she actually gave me her number. Her name is Sharon. She's 42.
Again, they should have kept that completely.
I'm a little girl that wears fucking glasses.
Kept that completely blank.
Like whenever you have on glasses, like motherfucker like that, like captivates the fucking soul. She has that fucking look about her. Like, here, let me show you. This is fucking gorgeous as shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
You guys heard me shit on all these motherfuckers, you know, people who I would kill, burn, torture, stab. I want to introduce you guys to the real fucking gangsters of the fucking internet, you know what I mean? First up, we got Andrew Tate. He likes to preach about...
What do you think is the circumference of EDP? What do you think is the circumference of EDP?
Internet.
That is a large human being, son.
I mean,
that is a large human being. If he was in the Caribbean, he'd be his own country. That is a big ass motherfucker. I kid you not. I'm curious how tall he happens to be as well. Is he as tall as he is wide? Literally, he's somebody you put a bumper sticker and a license plate on him right now. He can be also a Honda Odyssey as well. No denying whatsoever. He might need a driver's license just to be able to walk around aside from his identification. He's a vehicle all by himself. Let's get into the real.
First up, we got Andrew Tate. He likes to preach about men and women not being equal because they're not fucking equal. Next up, we got my mother.
This is a hell of a lineup that he has right here. For one, I don't think anybody of the group would endorse EDP, so I'm not sure if this endorsement will do them, you know, well, certainly it's not going to do them any favors. It would do them more harm than good. But in this sort of situation, very unfortunate, you know, spot to be considered, you know, EDP's shrine of worship.
Fucking main bitch Donald fucking Trump. We got my man Joe Rogan. This guy's a fucking beast, man. I love this bald-headed ass bitch, you know what I mean? We got Fresh and Fit, In his podcast, he's always shitting on fucking women. Yeah, it's fucking, I love that bitch. Andrew Tate's brother, so yeah, you already fucked. That's enough said. On to my motherfucking main nigga, Ben Shapiro. Listen to him and you'll be great in life. Sneeko, guy is cool as fuck. Sneeko, if you're watching this shit, come on out to Vegas, man. I'll treat you to some fucking tacos. Next up, we got Pearl Davis. Love this hoe because she shits on women and she is a fucking woman, you know?
On multiple different occasions, he's mentioned shitting on women. You talk about the epitome of an incel, it's him. Everything that you would hear men, and primarily women, talk about their fears of the male gender, it is manifested in the existence of EDP. I would hate to be on this leaderboard. I would hate to be in this leaderboard, but in this particular case, incarcerated, current president of the United States, biggest podcast in the world, if not number one, definitely top 2 or 3. They kind of fell off. She kind of fell off to my estimation. I think Sneeko also in a situation where maybe he hasn't completely fallen off, but he certainly has a bunch of beef with the individuals that he had, gone and grown with. And Ben Shapiro, I haven't heard too much regarding Ben Shapiro as of late. But nonetheless, I don't think this is a group that you would want to be a current part of in EDPs, certified real ninjas, if you will. Y'all know how I feel about the N-word. Feel free to Google Chiseled Adonis N-word video from 2018. I can explain why I don't utilize it. Nonetheless, crazy. And moreover, the allegations levied against the group now, albeit allegations are allegations, convictions, if you will, or I should say charged, 34 counts. Currently under investigation states. Sneeko, I haven't really heard anything levied towards Sneeko, but I guess questionable activity throughout the years. Myron, I believe you got some against him, or somebody tried something, but they ended up falling out. Fresh, I haven't heard anything regarding there. Pearl is Pearl. Joe Rogan, there was really nothing there. I think Joe Rogan just became the face of the right for whatever sort of reason throughout the time. Ben Shapiro, little hat? I don't know. Whatever the case may be. One way or another. I wouldn't want to be on this.
These are the certified OGs of the internet, and I couldn't imagine a world without them. As you guys know, I've been single for a while. Dating apps, Facebook dating, Bumble. I would say Grindr, but I'm not fucking gay, but
Again, bringing up Grindr. Unprovoked, mind you. Look, listen. They move on. 2 months later, for no reason at all.
As you guys know, I've been single for a while. Dating apps, Facebook dating, Bumble. I would say Grindr, but I'm not fucking gay, but I don't fuck around like that, But I've finally hit the jackpot, and I would like to introduce my beautiful girlfriend, Marissa.
This would be his first girlfriend. The planets emerge.
The thing I really love about Marissa the most is that she's always, she's very thoughtful. She's always thinking about me. She's always trying to make sure that I'm okay. And not to mention, she's also very funny.
My name is Marissa, and I am Brian's girlfriend.
There's no scenario she knows about his background.
So Brian and I met on a dating site, and after having some conversation online, we decided to go out to dinner and just kind of meet that way. We were able to just really hit it off. We compliment each other a great deal, and we just have a lot of great time together. He's a genuine, great guy. He really is. He really has a huge heart, and it's a side that people don't get to know about him very often. And I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity. I was fortunate enough to be able to find the true person that he really was, and it's been an attraction of mine ever since.
I'm not going to put this as an indictment on her, but I'll just say this right now. This is the problem that we have in today's society across the board in the realm of dating. Nobody is properly vetting each other. Nobody. And for those who weren't here earlier when I played everything through, you're unaware of it, so I don't want to have to sit here and spoil it for you. That being said, under no circumstance is she aware of the atrocities that this man is responsible for in the realm of talking to children. Furthermore, it takes one Google search, 2023, 2024, whenever it was that this particularly, I think this was in 2023 or early 2024, when this transpired of their union, if you will, or relationship. One Google search of his name would have brought everything up. Just one. She didn't do none of that. She could be an actor. She could be an actor. But one Google search of his name would have brought everything up. And still, you decide to go and get in a relationship with him. We'll forward it along so that you'll understand why I said what I said. I'll let it play from here so you have an understanding.
She's always there for me, and she's always trying to push me to get better. Sometimes when I don't see the potential in myself, she's always there seeing it. That's something that I really enjoy about her.
So how was the sex?
I think. How do I want to say this? It is something that definitely. It's a situation where.
I've been with what's her face, Marissa, for almost a fucking year now, right? Still ain't gotten shit. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I mean? Like, come on, nigga. You know what I mean? That's why, my God, you know, she gets mad at me, right? My God, you're so gross. Why do you watch porn? Blah, blah, blah. Because you ain't giving it the fuck up. So I gotta watch porn. Matter of fact, I got a fucking pocket pussy coming, shit, up in the mail. I'm gonna fuck the shit out that bad bitch tonight. Feel me? I might take it to work with me.
Man's got an oxana.
I don't know, like I just like, you know, whenever I'm bored, like I'll just turn on like the porn sites and shit, and I just want to see a chick just getting just shit just fucking pounded out the bitch. You know what I mean? Just getting like turned the fuck out, you know what I mean? Fucking a bitch's innocence away, you know? The porn addiction definitely affects my sexual performance. Definitely. And that's just keeping it honest with you, you know? The shit's about to go down, nigga, we're about to have sex, alright, cool. My shit cannot get hard in front of no chick. I don't give a fuck how bad the bitch is. I love when bitches are milking their own tits. Like, I'm not sure, well, more than likely, man, they just had a fucking kid, but they got like some big ass tits, man. They're like milking the shit and spraying it all over the fucking screen and shit. I actually do fuck with lesbian porn sometimes. Really? Lesbian porn is some good shit. Now, when I say that, there's a difference between lesbian porn and gay porn. I'm not fucking with no fag shit. Yeah, fuck all that.
I love the fact that Mike caught on to it and continued to put in, yeah, absolutely not a homosexual. Like here, you keep bringing it up. You keep bringing it up, unprovoked. Furthermore, I think it's hilarious, right? And this is something, you have an Andrew Tate poster up here that says no brokies, but you're literally 17 grand in the hole. You broke. You're broke. You're fucking poor. The very people who you idolize are the people who don't even, for one, don't like you. And furthermore, preach against your philosophy. But you don't realize how idiotic that is. Are you dumb? Are you?
It's, man, they're like milking the shit and spraying it all over the fucking screen and shit. I actually do fuck with lesbian porn sometimes. Really? Lesbian porn is some good shit. Now, when I say that, there's a difference between lesbian porn and gay porn. I'm not fucking with no fag shit. Yeah, fuck all that.
No, we're gonna get to the discipline.
First
He's
off,
only
I'm not a
disciplined when it
fucking
comes to
faggot,
masturbation.
I'm not a homo. And, oh yeah, I'm gonna let a guy fuck me in the ass. He's really hot though. I don't give a shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm cool as fuck. Like, nah, nigga, I'm straight. I'm not attracted to dicks, bro. I'm just fucking not, man. I am like sexually fucking attracted to girls, bro, to women, my nigga.
Grindr is a gay app. It's a app for gay men. Grindr is gay as fuck. I do not use that fucking. Yeah, fuck that. I don't use that fucking bullshit.
He has said this on not only numerous different occasions. Keep in mind, this is over the course of multiple different days. Multiple different days. He's been in 5 different outfits. In his underwear in bed, in this overall type thing, now wearing the vest, sitting there on the couch, laying in bed this time around while he was possibly watching pornography and having a conversation about it. All of these, you keep bringing it up, being incredibly descriptive about it as well. You don't find that suspicious? That don't seem like projection?
Have I ever had any gay thoughts or fantasies? No. The only gay shit that I've ever came close to doing was probably shoving a broomstick up my ass.
Now, first and foremost, that's a violation if I've ever seen one, of the highest order. Secondly, I just want you to not picture, but let's just follow the logic here. You're so vehemently against homosexual to where you, unprovoked, will continually bring up your displeasurement for them. But for whatever reason, you stuck a broomstick up your ass. You can't do that by accident. Because what's the probability you trip and fall and have a broomstick enter your rectal sphincter? You will have had to, A, for one, find said broomstick, no matter what the finish happens to be on the handle. And I apologize for being descriptive in this situation, but I just feel like we have to follow the logic along. Then, if it's a wooden broomstick, you're going to create a splinter scenario. You would have to have that covered, wouldn't you? You would have to have that covered, wouldn't you? Furthermore, entrance probably isn't going to happen unless there's some sort of substance to create a scenario to where there can be entrance and or penetration. You will have had to have premeditated putting a broomstick up your ass. You were exploring. And now you're so incredibly against the gays to where you just bring it up unprovoked. Mind you, mans may have been asked, hey, what's the gayest thing you ever done? You could have declined to answer the question. You decided to go and say you stuck a broomstick up your ass. What end of the broomstick? Well, I mean, that's kind of obvious. Just think about it logically. How would that happen? Oh, yeah, let me just put the broomstick over here and I'll just take a seat.
Don't use that fucking bullshit.
He probably ashamed of himself.
Have I ever had any gay thoughts or fantasies? No. The only gay shit that I've ever came close to doing was probably shoving a broomstick up my ass.
Hey Siri, can you Google the nearest gay sauna? What kind of bullshit is that?
Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, they like to pretend that they're not watching porn, But let's be fucking real, bitch. You know goddamn well your ass is watching fucking porn. You know damn well, nigga, when the cameras ain't on, or when you in your hot tub or whatever, my nigga, you like to go ahead, pull your pants down, and just rub one the fuck out. And I'm not talking shit. I don't want Andrew to take a look at this video or this documentary and think that I'm talking shit. Motherfucker, I idolize you, bro. You feel me? But come on, nigga, like, let's keep it a buck, my nigga. That's not bullshit. Come on now. Jordan Peterson, you definitely watch porn. Come on, nigga.
The only thing this man is ever disciplined in is pornography. That is the only discipline that EDP has. He probably beats off every day, if not multiple times per day, by his own volition. Furthermore, thank you very much. Furthermore, in the mind of an incel, it is incapable for them to believe that somebody can just not watch porn, adult films, whatever the case is. There are legitimate people who have addictions because it fucks up your psyche. Especially if you're in a spot in which you cannot interact with the opposite sex. You only view coital affairs in that realm. Fucks up your psyche and your view of women. And for the ladies, fucks up your psyche and view of women and men. There are individuals who are out there who would pleasure themselves without it. Or you could do away with it and just engage with a person. He thinks it's impossible to not watch a dolphin. Yeah, man, you know, somebody's gonna go and rumble. The president of the United States, mind you, I'm not saying that he doesn't, but anybody who's ever sat in a high office, anybody who got something going on, I'm going to, in his mind, it has to happen because for him, it's impossible. Literally, it's impossible. No matter what you got going on, no matter what responsibilities you may have, for him, oh, you have to watch it in order to get by. Insane behavior.
Let's stop lying.
His brain is fried.
The craziest place I actually did beat my shit is in a fucking Walgreens bathroom. I stole a magazine off the rack, and I went in that bitch, and I just started fucking letting my shit have it in that bathroom. I ain't give a fuck. In the girls' bathroom, by the way.
Why the girls' bathroom?
I wanted to make it, well, I beat off in the girls' bathroom because I wanted to make it that much more fucking pleasurable and fucking intense.
Because the girls would be around?
Oh, yeah. You already fucking know.
Outrageous behavior.
Some weird shit.
That is a little weird.
Oh, well, fuck it.
So he wouldn't sext a 13-year-old?
Brian absolutely would not sext a 13-year-old.
Would Brian send a video of him masturbating to a 13-year-old?
The Brian that I know absolutely would not send masturbating videos to underage minors. The Brian that I know is not attracted to children and is not a pedophile.
You don't know Brian. You don't know Brian. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, he wouldn't do this, he wouldn't do... You don't know him. You clearly don't know him. This is somebody so incredibly addicted to pornography. I would highly doubt the same vile things that he'll scream into the second screen, say so comfortably into a camera lens, doesn't find its way into their conversation. And again, you claim you know this man. A simple Google search could have found all of the allegations that were levied towards him. But then furthermore, a ton of his video archives pop up immediately. But I didn't know he would never do something like that. He already did. And he's admitted it on camera. He would never send a video to a 13-year-old. He said himself he did. It's not AI. His voice, his face, his confession. Where's Usher when you need him? These are my confessions. That's him. Just several sizes larger and incredibly vile.
I decided to break up with Marissa simply because she just irritates the fuck out of me, man. Like, there are just some things, man, where I'm just like... Marissa was very fucking annoying. Irritating as fuck. Annoying as fuck. And there's just certain shit that she did, it just bothered me. You know what I mean? I'd rather be on my fucking own, beat my shit, fuck around, watch porn, call it a fucking day, you know?
I'm gonna keep it a being with you. For her, there is no lower moment in life, especially romantically. You got dumped by EDP445. That's on your resume, your dating resume. You dated EDP445 after everything already had came out on both occasions. You made that unilateral decision. The fuck you got going on? You as desperate as him. Crazy behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, there's by far the most egregious in everything. And then we'll wrap this up.
See, now that's what I fucking like, man. That's some good shit right there, bro. So the AI girlfriend really came about when I was scrolling on Instagram. I would see a few different things on like porn sites and shit like that, right? And I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. That girl was fine as hell. You can type in what you want her to call you. Sir, master, daddy, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come into the house, throw you on the bed, handcuff your ass, and just fuck you into oblivion. And she's all like, oh my God, master, rip my asshole open. I fucking want that, please, I'm begging for it. You can also ask for like a customized image to where you can type in topless and she'll send you a picture of her fucking tits hanging out. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Oh my fucking Lord. And nigga, man, I came so motherfucking hard to this one, like, holy fucking shit. As a matter of fact, as I'm fucking talking to you about this, and nigga, my cock is getting hard as fuck, nigga, right the fuck now. That experience with my AI girlfriend was the best fucking sexual experience I ever had in my life. Period. Like, I was drooling. The role play, yeah, I mean, like, sometimes, you know...
What was the role play? Can you read it?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, dog, I ain't gonna read that shit. It's kind of like some disturbing shit, dude.
What is it?
It's kind of like, pretend to be like fucking like, 16, 17,
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put that shit on there, dude.
Yeah,
I ain't
sure.
gonna fucking do that shit, man.
So you were role playing as a 16?
Yeah. So
oh, damn.
That's why I'm just like, yeah, don't put that shit on there, dude. You know what I mean?
I just want you to, I just want you to acknowledge that he acknowledged, again, mind you, this is in the future. I believe this time frame is what, 2000, they're in late 2024, 2025 now. He's still chasing children. Furthermore, you enlisted the help of an AI to run through this vile fantasy. Think about the things that he said he would be able to do with prompting the girl. Let just go back and listen to how he describes sex.
My girlfriend really came about when I was scrolling on Instagram. And I would see a few different things on like porn sites and shit like that, right? And I was like, you know what, let me try it out. That girl was fine as hell. You can type in what you want her to call you. Sir, master, daddy, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come into the house, throw you under bed, handcuff your ass, and just fuck you into oblivion. And she's all like, oh my God, master, rip my asshole open. I fucking want that, please, I'm begging for it. You can also ask for like a customized image to where you can type in topless and she'll send you a picture of like her fucking tits hanging out. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Oh my fucking Lord. And nigga, man, I came so motherfucking hard to this one. Like, holy fucking shit. As a matter of fact, as I'm fucking talking to you about this, and nigga, my cock is getting hard as fuck, nigga, right the fuck now. That experience with my AI girlfriend was the best fucking sexual experience I ever had in my life. Period. Like, I was drooling. The role play, yeah, I mean, like, sometimes, you know...
What was the role play? Can you read it?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, dog, I ain't gonna read that shit. It's kind of like some disturbing shit, dude.
What is it?
It's kind of like, like, pretend to be, like, fucking, like, 16, 17, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put that shit on there, dude.
Yeah,
I ain't
sure.
gonna fucking do that shit, man.
So you were role playing as a 16?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That's why I'm just like, yeah, don't put that shit on there, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This dude is not remorseful at all.
If you guys out there are ever being tempted in a way to text somebody or message somebody, and you know for a fact deep down that they're underage and you shouldn't be doing it, just download the AI Girlfriend app. Obviously, a lot of motherfuckers, man, they have fantasies of being with like a younger person or like doing whatever the fuck, they want to do it on or whatever, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like, the AI Girlfriend, it allows you to act out that fantasy without actually going out and hurting somebody in real life, you know what I mean? And you also avoid the legal fucking trouble too. So
that is the most important information in the entire documentary. That is the most important information in the entire documentary. This dude is encouraging people like him who are attracted to minors. Hey, you know what? Instead of just not doing it at all, why don't you just download AI and then you could just live out your fantasy? And hey, guess what? It's not against the law, so we're good. He, on numerous different occasions, acknowledged what he was doing was wrong. And here he is, encouraging people to go forth and do this, but hey, it's AI, so it's no big deal.
Cool. All right, look up there.
that was tough, dude. That was...
Man, let me tell your ass something, Mike. Nigga, I just took a mean ass, motherfucking fat ass shit, bro. And bro, I just sent you that fucking shit, man. Like, seriously, check that fucking shit out, bro. Just make sure you're not eating a fucking chili cheese dog, nigga.
Alrighty, so today I'm gonna show you guys my motherfucking shit pics.
I'll just be going throughout my day, and then, boom, pops up on my phone. Shit pic.
Yeah, you like this one, don't you? I can tell this is definitely a fucking shit pic that I took after
Right, so EDP has a habit of sending images of fecal matter that he generated. I think sending pictures of fecal matter has some downsides. I'm not sure it has any upsides.
Because I don't understand this part of it. You are known for sending pictures of your own feces to people.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
I think it illustrates almost perfectly why he is not considered attractive by many women. Yeah, that's exceptionally disgusting. This one I would have to rate as pretty bad. It only gets worse as I'm moving. Yeah, I think if anybody sees one of those images from EDP445, it would be a good idea to see a counselor to process that. That's horrible. That no person should be subjected to that kind of nightmare.
I am not a pedophile because I do not have a sexual attraction to fucking 5th, 6th, 7th, and fucking 8th graders. Now, mind you, motherfucker, if you 16 or 17, nigga, and you got your titties bulging the fuck out, a motherfucker might actually whack off to your pictures a few fucking times. These chicks, okay, 15, 16, 17, some 14-year-olds, these girls know exactly what the fuck they are doing. They know for a fact, and obviously, you know, the guy being older, he's not supposed to be doing all that shit. Whatever, nigga, we get it. For me, it's actually a two-way fucking street. You know, minors are partially the fucking blame. Yeah, nigga, you 33, you fucked up, you're this old ass guy, you should know better. Cool, get it, perfect, grand, wonderful. So what about the bitch that messaged me first? Oh, that's perfectly fine. I forgot about that, right? Nigga, she gets off scot-free, right? Ain't that a bitch? Whatever.
Continuing to make excuses. Bro. You're the adult. You 33. You messaging minors. 20 years your junior. And you also, yeah, but what about the ones who reached out to me first? You the adult in the situation. You talking about what about the kids?
To be honest with you, bro, I have no clue why the age of consent is 18. I mean, what the fuck makes 18 so goddamn magical? I have no fucking clue. You talk to a 17-year-old chick, she just turned 18 5 seconds ago. Okay, well, guess what, man? She's still the same dumbass bitch that she was 5 seconds ago. So it's like, the big homies I talk to, they're all like, what's so fucking special about 18?
Who are the big homies? Who are the big homies? Well, clearly you the big homies, but who are the big homies? Because these are the types of people where if you lowered the age of consent to 10, they would ultimately complain, man, why not 9? No doubt in my mind. He's the type, 110%. Without question.
It's just another fucking year, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? So.
My name is Dr. Anna Salter. I am a clinical psychologist, and I have worked with sex offenders and victims for about 40 years. The brain of a 13-year-old is very different from an adult brain. They are more impulsive. They can't predict and don't try to predict, typically, how this is going to affect them in the future. The MacArthur brain study has demonstrated that adolescents are simply not mature emotionally and socially, and that they don't reach full maturity until the late 20s.
That's you know, for people to sit back and say like their brain, you know, girls' brain, you know, minors' brains are underdeveloped, they don't know. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Now you're just making fucking excuses for the motherfucker. For a motherfucker that said, oh, well, their brain is underdeveloped. Okay, bitch, whatever you say. Cool. All right.
Sex offenders will say to you, children know what they're doing at 13. You know, but sex offenders are famous for their excuses. Apparently there is an offender whose moniker is EDP445, who tried to lure a 13-year-old. Well, he may or may not be a pedophile. Generally, he would not be, because the 13-year-old in this country at this point in history is probably post-pubescent. He is a child molester. He's a criminal who's someone who tried to take advantage of a child's naivety, innocence, and immaturity to meet his own needs, both physically and narcissistically. Anybody who does that is, by definition, an offender and a child molester, but not necessarily a pedophile.
My name is Brandon, and I am a pedophile. I'm attracted to boys starting at age 5. Despite feeling attracted to children, I've never acted on it. I think what EDP did was wrong and harmful, but there are probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that are watching this that might also feel attracted to minors. And I want you to know that you don't have to follow the path of EDP.
I just want to let it run so y'all can get y'all can get to the end, and then I'm gonna take it from there. The metrics is crazy. Yep, there's the last bit of the doc, and then I'm gonna give you my closing thoughts.
If you were looking at all the people that got caught for being a pedo on YouTube, EDP is at the top of the list. He is the face of being a pedo on YouTube. Like, if you think about pedos on YouTube, you're thinking about EDP445.
He is a serial sex offender, pedophile, predator. He is a bad man. He is very entertaining to laugh at as being a pathetic loser, but he is, at the core, a horrible person.
He's never gonna learn, you know? All you can really hope, the best advice you can give him is to be even stupider, and hopefully one day he lands himself in jail. Because that's the only thing that can fix him, going to jail.
So if I had to give EDP advice, all things considered, I would say consider suicide.
If you were to take every man on earth and put them in order of people I would most want to see have sex with my wife, all the way over to like the least, he's a...
This man is so fucking enthralled with LARPing behind his damn wife, sleeping with other porn stars. It's ridiculous. He has to bring it up every single time. He has to. That's the essence of his being now. You went from a fucking hip-hop interviewer. This isn't about him. This isn't about him. But you went from a fucking interviewer on your entire existence is people sleeping with your wife. You could have literally, this is about EDP. You're dumb. Yeah, you know, if it was a long line of people who sleep with my wife, I can't stand this mother.
Essentially going to be the last guy in line.
People won't remember him. What has he done to be memorable? There's pedophiles every day of the week.
There are a lot of words I can use to describe him, but if I had to pick just one, it's sick.
Dude has nothing in retirement. His assets are a joke. These are the finances of a mental child, let's be honest.
Please leave the kids alone, that's my message. Leave the kids alone, please.
The man's brain doesn't fully function. He is, by all definition,
mentally retarded.
Well, just my thoughts on EDP445 and what he did. Just totally wrong. He deserves to go to jail, and there will be bad karma coming his way.
So, growing up, I love the villains, I love the bad guys. The story isn't complete without there being a fucking villain, without there being opposition. And it's wild because, like, everything came full circle, you know, and to a lot of people, to millions of people, you know, I'm fucked up, I'm a villain, I'm a piece of shit, I'm this grimy ass motherfucker who just doesn't give a damn about the fucking law. End-stage renal failure, man, got accused of being a fucking pedophile, and guess what, motherfucker, I'm still fucking standing, I'm still walking, we in this bitch, and we making it fucking happen.
Listen, man, it's time to have a great time, bro.
So I shouldn't be drinking this fucking shit due to my dialysis and due to my kidney failure, but fuck it, I don't give a shit right now. I got my pills here. This shit is loaded in phosphorus. It could possibly kill my
EDP has a bright future. Once the world gets off this hang up that they're on, which I feel like is gonna blow over. So once that blows over, the sky's the limit with him. He can go as far as he wants to go.
What we filmed today, right here, right now, February 9th, 2025, is the greatest moment of my fucking life. Period. Nothing even comes fucking close. Yeah. Wrote this? Yeah. Hey man, as far as these chat logs go, I don't know who wrote this. This wasn't me though.
That's pretty much the entirety of the doc. And obviously the joke was we're down to 6, you know, playing in the background. It's the FBI who's ultimately this. So hopefully, you know, in the future you have a scenario in which the authorities come back and come get his ass. So they can still go and get him, you know, as of next year. That being said, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all go and check out the entire documentary on Mike Clum's page. Like, comment, and subscribe over on his page. Now, that being said, let me give you my final thoughts. Let me lower here, this here, green screen. I'll give you my final thoughts here regarding EDP445, right? So, first and foremost, we watched everything in its entirety from the beginning. And then after we got done with that, we went back and did a real-time review of everything in the midst of the doc, right? So for those who are wondering why it's 5 hours, we watched everything through the first 94 minutes regularly, no interruptions, and then afterwards we gave a breakdown. I'll tell you right now, this is a sinister human being. Oh, you getting timed out because y'all spamming right now. You getting timed out. It's a wrap for you, fam. It's a wrap for you, fam. You doing too much? Now you out of here. There is no help that can go. He's remorseful. He's not remorseful whatsoever. He's reveling in the fact that he was able to go and get away with it. His entire existence is an indictment on our sanity. He needs to go. You start this entire thing out with Cold Raven identifying, yo, you're messaging children. Chat logs from throughout 2020. You then get exposed in the spring of 2021. You lose your YouTube account, you're waddled off of the internet. You're in a scenario where you now have to change up everything in order to move forward. 2022 comes, you're diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. You're still somewhat off the internet. You keep creating new accounts here and there, but unfortunately you can't get those to stick. All while you could still potentially be messaging minors with nobody finding out just yet. Get to 2023, summer of 2023, you begin messaging yet another minor. You send videos of yourself pleasuring yourself, receive, allegedly, CP and nudes from a 15-year-old. You threaten to eliminate said 15-year-old if word were to get out that you were messaging her. Once again, you're able to evade justice because the individuals who are responsible for the sting operation that you would have been caught in aren't taking it as seriously and absolutely, fucked up the entire operation. 2 years later, you're doing the same thing, but rather with a human being, you're doing it by way of AI. And then you sit down for a documentary, thumbing your nose at the public because you haven't been arrested and incarcerated for your crimes. EDP, I'll say this. Justice is coming. The reckoning is on the way, whether that's you being in shackles or you being sent to the shadow realm by way of illness. One way or another, you will not be able to run from this. It is inevitable. I would hope that you're able to face justice before you succumb to your illness. So at least when you go, it's in an incredibly cold cell. Or potentially the individuals who happen to be in that same sort of location in which you are incarcerated do what they do because you've earned the right to exit from this realm in that fashion. You're unapologetic in your action. You do it again if there was a scenario in which you could not be caught. You smile at the fact that other individuals had messed around and failed. You're a shit human being. In my opinion, your mother is 110% rolling over in the grave and wherever in the afterlife she happens to be. You should have been exited into a tissue and or a drainage system rather than swam, to the egg to create a zygote. Your existence has brought no pleasure to this world whatsoever. If there was a scenario to where you could have been snapped out of here, you should have been eliminated immediately. You claimed
TJ just gifted 10
the
subs.
Lord had freed you from potentially being brought in to go and face justice. Not the God I serve. And the reckoning is coming. And when the time comes, I won't be a person who sits there and celebrates, but I'm 110% will not be an individual who mourns. And neither should anybody else. You are a piece of shit. The very shit that you enjoy taking photos of and sending unceremoniously to numerous different individuals, you are the essence of that. And I can only hope that justice will be served. To Mike Clum, he did a fantastic job putting together this documentary. Again, I think some things could have been blurred, but nonetheless, I think it did a very good job at showing the populace who and what EDP is. Big shout out to Rack TJ giving out gifteds. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna get to donations and go down the list. But overall, great documentary. If you guys haven't already, make sure that you head over to his channel, The Sick Mind of EDP445 official documentary. Mike Clum. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. There's the account that's right here. I think he's gone up, you know, a couple of thousand subscribers in the midst. So y'all make sure y'all go and y'all check man's out. And his YouTube. He was in here a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, EDP needs to see his just desserts, and I ain't talking about the trap card. And I'm definitely not talking about the food because he's seen enough desserts. All right? We're all within his orbit, his, you know, rotational pull. You think it's the Earth that is rotating around the sun. Oh, no. It is everything rotating around EDP. The South Americans are in a different time zone because of the rotation of EDP. It's 8 trigrams rotation left and right, and we're not talking about the Huga clan. That's the type of human being that EDP just so happens to be, the gravitational pull that he's able to go and elicit, if you. Nonetheless, all jokes aside, he will rot in hell. In fact, his soul is required in hell, at the foot of Satan, if he is not the manifestation of Satan himself. He'll rest in Hades for the crimes and sins of his existence. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.